Thank you so much, Shiver. I was going to say the same word. Simplicity seems to be the name of the game. But Lacoste, how are you breaking this down? We got some time to talk. We're a little bit paused at the moment. But both these drafts, there are definitely aspects of each that I really like. But what's sticking out here for you?
Definitely this carry Muerta. We've seen Muerta 5 times so far in the tournament. She did win 4 out of 5 games, and only one of those games were played by position 4. It is Rue who played it, but others were played with quick draw facet, which is pretty good for carry Muerta. This has been pushed towards us with the old facet being kind of relevant. What was it called? The one with the respawn? Ofrenda. There, yeah, there it is.
You don't even wait for me to answer. I can't even get a second to sound smart here.
I remembered. Even though I am old, I still remember. But yeah, it is a lot of times that you do need on Muerta to come online. And they have like relatively okay team fight with Magnus, but other than that, these heroes are extremely squishy. Like Stormspirit's not the most tankiest hero in the game, neither is Muerta. I don't see anybody building into Blade Mail other than Ember Spirit. I think it's a very, very good Ember Spirit Blade Mail game. Overall, we've seen that item being more popular than the Mage Slayer from the mid lane. You get on top of her. In terms of magic damage that they do have, like they don't really also have much. Leash is something that is annoying. Ravage is annoying. Shadowfiend does have raises, but yeah, it's going to be between Shadowfiend and Ember Spirit who's going to be dealing damage to Muerta during her ulti. But yeah, overall, I would say this is a very good Muerta. Muerta game, Muerta pick.
We'll see how Nisha plays. He played that Ember in that previous series against Aurora and went 14-0 and 18. I mean, you talk about perfect games, then there's that game. That is a step higher, it seems like, than perfect, which feels impossible because perfect's supposed to be the best, but I mean, 14-0 and 18 is pretty insane.
It is, and they managed to snatch 1 extra rune for themselves, extra 40 gold for everybody on the team.
Always nice to get a little bit of an influx extra, especially when you're going for that bottle first. If you can get yourself that, or maybe even a first blood chance, that's always pretty significant for you. GPK, he's been exciting to watch. He had that great game as Lashrak yesterday, where he just put the hurting on as well. So both these mids have had their moments to really shine in this tournament.
Yeah, he had some really good performances. Nisha as well did manage to kind of carry most of the games as well. When Nisha's having a good time, you know that the rest of the Liquid will also be having a good time.
Both these teams so far in the playoffs have looked good. BetBoom taking the 2-0 over Spirit, and then Liquid taking the 2-1 over Aurora after what was a rough first game for them. Those back two were really great from the side of Team Liquid.
Yeah, BetBoom, they also had a bit of a rough series against NAVI as well. Basically, I would say losing all 3 games, did manage to win off of good Nagasarin songs, but other than that, they've been very hot and cold. Insania behind enemy tower, save, knowing that they can't really play this lane, not the easiest lane. Magnus early on doesn't really provide you with much damage, neither does Shadow Demon. And save picking up boots of speed of his own, and looking at the top lane, Saberlight on Tidehunter with Marcy. Not the also traditional pairing, I would say, not the insane amount of damage. You can pick him up, get maybe Gush into Anchor Smash onto Nature's Prophet. But in terms of the damage output, it really isn't there. Like, that lane is not the most killer threat lane.
What are you looking for from this Tidehunter? Because I know that there's been some aura building tides. There's been Gush, prioritization tides in some of these games. But what is it that you're looking for from this Tidehunter?
Probably, I would say, just we saw Vlad's in the previous series. Insania is going to drop here. Blink Dagger. I'm not sure about the auras. Maybe it's an okay game for a pipe, but nothing too crazy. And you want to pick up your shard. Great against Storm, great against Magnus as well. Even Muerta, keep her in place, even though she can kill it relatively fast. Same goes for the Tombstone. Getting that first blood, but also getting the kill in the top lane. We said that Kataomi might be in trouble if they get on top of him. Anchor Smash, Gush.
It's definitely a good amount of minus armor, chances to get kills. but the chances may be only with overextension. That's kind of what happened there to Katomi. Pure's had some great performances. He had looked shaky early, but now they've got the dispose, and the Sprout is around Saberlight. He'll die. I thought maybe they'd have the damage bone. You're not able to put more onto the Muerta. They just could not get that kill, and you can see what they're able to accomplish when locking up that Tide.
We also saw a lot of Marcy's with Pick Me Up Facet griefing, especially in the Navi series. Like, not... Gotta be careful. Maybe they're not on the same page, whether they need to go in and out, but this one has been handled for free to BetBoom.
It was Ari picking up Boom, just kind of dropping him in the middle of 4 heroes to a very likely death. Although I can see that being a thing here, especially something you want to use on the Tide when he gets that level 6. You pick me up, rebound into a spot where a Ravage is going to do the most.
I was just getting some flashbacks when Mickey was playing Nature's Prophet. I remember him playing against the same lane, Shadow Demon plus Magnus, where you get close to the tower, you get disrupted, you get skewered into the tower. Right now, Save is making a rotation towards the mid lane. He wants to secure the Water Rune, but might also be able to get the kill here. Marcy is in.
Rebound
6 heroes.
Sprout coming through. There's a Tombstone, but they're working on it. They'll get the gold for Katomi, and now they just don't have the damage to take anybody out from Liquid to BetBoom. And they hold on. They get 125 gold for their troubles.
That's about it.
And that, I mean, free 125 for a Nature's Prophet. Won't say no any day.
Both mid laners picking up Water Rune in the end. GPK does manage to pick one up in the bottom. And now Mickey needs to be slightly more careful. Save. Disruption is ready.
Saberlight's been taking a lot of damage top. This is not been too easy for him, but he heals up a little bit. The Muerta kind of having free reign up in that top
ready
lane.
For the skewer back. Mickey's underneath the tower.
Yeah, that's problematic for this Shadow Fiend. Should be a kill. Will be. The pressure from these lanes on BetBoom. You always have, as long as teleportation is available for Kataomi, you always have plus numbers if you need them. But again, they go for pure. They hit that dead shot. They throw down the calling. And they'll have that Sprout for Saberlight. They just need to be able to get this kill, and unfortunately they don't have the damage, but Saberlight still wants to stay in the lane and throw a gush through. As meanwhile, Nisha goes down to GPK, and BetBoom, they are finding a lot of success in this early goings, as they'll lose Boxy after the rebound, and Saberlight's going to have to back out, as he is not really feeling that comfortable.
Kataomi getting the Urn Charge. Giving him the Tango as well. Has another Urn Charge available. Very good start for BetBoom Team.
All their lanes really successful. Early Urn. More to be implemented here from BetBoom. Miro already setting up. He wants Blink Dagger. He wants that initiation.
Miro's having another great tournament. He had a couple of the last ones where he wasn't really doing the Miro things, I would say. But also yesterday, he had a great game against Spirit when he was playing that Lycan, completely dominated the game. Not the easiest hero to kill as well in this lane. You're against Undying and Shadow Fiend. They can't really stop you. You can always cure and TP away if you're in trouble.
Miro's also almost level 6, so they'll have opportunity with that RP. We have seen GPK be no stranger to rotating to the side lanes when he feels comfortable enough early on. Has that 6, you know, a ball lightning with a vortex. If you follow it up in RP, you'll have Kataomi to make that rotation there too. You have options. So I wouldn't be surprised to see BetBoom play aggressive in a couple minutes. Saberlight, I say play aggressive in a couple minutes, but look at that. I mean, they just clean up Saberlight. He's supposed to be this tanky Tide, and
he's not.
Yeah, not even.
All this magic damage that they do have. Save also maxing out Deadshot, knowing that they can be getting the kills. Picks up Dormant Curio, extra attack speed as well, level 6. Not much mana to work with though. But Kataomi is a pretty high level, or at least trying to pull the lane back. So the lane's going to be closer to the tower.
Senia drops down that Tombstone.
Can't really kill him.
take out some zombies. But has that level 6, holding onto his skill point. Like I said, once that blink dagger save, should be able to stack a little bit. And will stack at least these camps. So stacking starts. BetBoom Team get more map on the, or more gold on the map to farm. What's the answer for Liquid? Because they're not down by that much, really. But when you look at what kind of game Pure's having and the way that they've moved for BetBoom and these kills that they've been able to get, what are you lacking on Liquid?
You're lacking some of the early damage. Tidehunter, he wants to be farming in the jungle, wants to be getting some levels for himself, so it doesn't get really much done early. Nisha doesn't really have a hero to play with. Marcy and Undying have very limited amount of damage that they can throw at the early stages. Shadowfiend, he also doesn't want to join. He wants to be farming on a different side of the map.
Chase after GPK, and GPK will ping and tip Nisha. Happy to just shoo him out. They have an obs up here for both teams, and they are going to make that double stack happen again. But they have information of these stacks being made. You know Magnus is going to try and get them. They'll sweep on over and potentially go and swipe these stacks. Both teams will have obs on it, and they are going to TP in GPK, but he might be the one who's in trouble. Nisha.
That is level 1 Searing Chains.
He's there. They got the Tombstone. Katomi's here. Boxy, he's trying to show up, trying to help out, but do you go after the Nature's Prophet? GPK is the target. They'll rebound, they'll pick me up, but they've got themselves the skewer, and Ember has to bail. Neutrals get the kill to Ketomi as Mickey comes in to try and steal some of these stacks. They'll also have Nisha re-engaging into the fight. Saberlight here at level 6. They'll find themselves a Shadow Demon. Saves dead 2, but 2 heroes die on BetBoom. Only 1 dies to a hero, and then they'll start to swipe all these stacks.
This is not too bad, but there's also going to be a lot of pressure on the side lanes. I see Pure going immediately for the tower, try to deal some damage. Boxy will need to be taking care of that. Good move overall for Liquid. Let's see what the fight recap does have to say about this one. Still, they got a Tombstone, which is a good amount of gold at this point, 125. GPK was the one who got it in the end. So still a 2k gold lead for BetBoom Team.
Yeah, not bad. Does put Mickey on the top of the net worth, at least for now, and he has really not been mangled too much. We've seen Shadow Fiends, they are fragile. We've talked about this a couple times where Shadow Fiends, they'll get this massive lead, die once or twice, and then kind of fall off. But who's here to support the Shadow Fiend, to make sure that even if he has a death, is there anybody here that can make sure that they can prop him up and have him sustain through a death or two?
They have Ravage to play around. They have Undying maybe later with the Shard when he starts to get points in Soul Rip. Marcy with the pick-me-up facet. So I don't think he's going to be dying as much. Their team fight is really good. Also not an easy Shadow Demon game overall. You are playing into Ember Spirit. You are playing into Shadow Fiend and Ravage. So the save's not going to be like really that comfortable. Not unless he gets his lens, until he gets his Blink Dagger. But also creating illusions out of Shadow Fiend could be pretty good with the presence of the Dark Lord. Getting it for themselves could mitigate all that minus armor, or at least use them against them.
Sprout on Anisha, not really much of a deterrent. Anisha even moving forward. But 2 stacks of that Shadow Poison and then forcing the Remnant back.
BetBoom is also very limited on the amount of stuns that they do have.
Yeah.
So Nisha can have a pretty free entry to the game, at least in some of these early fights, as long as he has Remnant available. There is like Deadshot, 1 point in Calling. I don't think he's going to be putting more points in Calling. You are playing Carry Muerta. You might want to get some of the stats instead. Pure with the pause.
I think
don't do anything stupid. Let's see.
I think even we saw that jumped pretty hard all of a sudden. 400 ping. Been a couple of server issues, but nothing too crazy. Knock on wood somewhere around here. It's a superstition.
I thought you were going to knock on your head for a second.
What do you think? I'm made of wood? I'm Pinocchio or something? All right.
It's the same sound that it would produce. Seems like they're ready to go, but also not ready to go at the same time.
You think so?
Looks like it.
No, I was going to say, you think my head makes the same sound as a very frail piece of wood.
Test it. I'll take off my headset.
I don't know if you heard that. Kind of the same.
Told you.
There's never a thought behind these eyes. I know that.
Now, there's always something going on there. But there's a lot of stacks being made. Can we check the number of the stacks? 12 total, 8 on side of Liquid. Shadow Demon, one of the best stacking heroes in the game. Maybe Nagasaran took over that, because we saw Panto doing a lot of work on Nagasaran, stacking multiple camps at the same time.
Going pipe first for this.
I said it's an okay pipe game. It's like nothing too crazy, but if they want to be grouping around, taking objectives, I do like this pipe. If they want to go for Roshan relatively early on, they have a good amount of damage with Undying Flash Golem, Tombstone. You always have damage with Shadow Fiend. You have that sustain. Again, the question is going to be whether they can be taking those fights. The only way you can start a fight is to have Ember run in pretty much. Marcy with the pick-me-up facet isn't really doing that much. They didn't really snowball out of control like we've seen Axe plus Marcy do a lot of the times. So the game did slow down, stabilized a 2k gold lead for BetBoom Team.
They're smoked up for Liquid and looking like they're going to go through the Twin Gate. But nobody is really up there, so close to the Twin Gate initially. If they want to dive deeper, they can find Pure. He's actually going more towards these Ancients, towards the side of Liquid. And the smoke breaks, but they don't see him initially. Now, they'll have some help. Kathomi thinking about TPing in. Saberlight shows. Disruption is there. Save. He's up on the high ground. Throwing the Shadow Poison out, and the smoke from Liquid doesn't exactly connect too well. Link into the RP, skewer back. They should have the calling for the silence, and Nisha gets taken out by Pure. They responded in a lot of numbers here for BetBoom and turn this around, and that's also, I believe, Miero showing off that Blink Dagger.
Nicely done. RP, skewer back into silence from Huerta. They do have control. Right now, he isn't really as tanky. Doesn't even get his magic wand off. Might have been a difference into that fight if he could have got it off. Because again, both of these teams, they have very limited amount of lockdown. Basically, the lockdown's coming out from your mid lane with some Searing Chains, which is maxed out at the moment. 1 point in Electric Vortex on Storm Spirit, but basically having the team fighters from the off lane who have long CD stuns. Still looking for something in this bottom lane, bringing in numbers. Even Pure's coming.
They try to fight the Shadow Fiend, and they're almost matching what Liquid just did, but without giving up a core. Instead, they'll turn their attention towards the Tier 1 tower, and they'll get this glyph to come through, and they should be able to get an easy tower take. That should really cost them too much. Everybody coming down here. GPK also going to join the fight. We'll see if anybody responds from the side of Liquid. So far, nothing. Is there another smoke that they're going to use? Save has a smoke. So does Kathomi. Nobody using it. They could go back towards this shrine. But eventually, they might just go in, and they will find Insania, Blink, Skewer, as well as that Shockwave. There's more than enough damage to get a kill here on the Undying.
BetBoom getting another pick off. Something also to point out, it is not the craziest mag and power game. Fear talked about it on panel about it being a bit of a, just a bit of an extra that you do get. But on Huerta, it's pretty good, because you have this Gunslinger chance, which is 45%. If you get to 65 with level 25 talent, this damage definitely starts to add up in a fight.
BetBoom Team have been mostly the aggressors or successful aggressors. Liquid haven't really found many openings, only 2 kills for them. 16 minutes into the game, averaging a kill every 8 minutes. They're content with farming, and they do have a Shadow Fiend at the top.
Can they find a
smoke?
fight?
But yeah, can they find anything?
That's the problem. Without the Blink Dagger on Tide, you can't really take that fight, you can group up with this pipe that it's being delivered on the courier, and then use Shadow Fiend's damage to try to force a fight. But BetBoom Team seems like they have a better idea how to dodge some of these fights. We'll see if Liquid's going to be able to pressure. Maybe Tormentor 20 minutes in, maybe go for Roshan. Because right now, they can't really gank. And this also allows Nature's Prophet, again, we're seeing it time and time again, where Nature's Prophet can easily get insane amount of farm, become another core.
Picks up that shard, unlocks Curse of the Old Growth. A little bit of a different way into this build for this Nature's Prophet. The last one went into the Blade Mail first, but Saberlight now sprouted. Calling's there, but just walks away. Even chose to pierce the veil. Still continue to
They can still kill him. Like, they can definitely kill Tide if Marcy's not around him. With pierce the veil damage, Ember thinking about jumping in. Nisha.
They'll find save, but he's got disruption for a moment. Miero's looking for the blink into the RP. He finds two. He's got the shockwave, then the skewer back onto the tier 2 tower. Ravage is used, hits on 3. They'll use the unleash. They'll try to get the damage out. They'll dispose. Miero save. Pure all falling. 5 heroes gone. Whoa, Liquid coming out of nowhere. With a full team
they're
wipe.
tipping Saberlight, and think in this scenario, you might want to tip Miero, because he just brought him in.
Yeah, you don't have a blink. I can drag you.
Clicked Ravage, exactly. Yeah. This is one of those funny videos that you've seen 10 years ago in Dota, where you're like, oh, we're trying to initiate onto Tide, but Miero also didn't use it immediately because he didn't turn during the RP, so forced to use the shockwave, buys it a little bit more time, and them getting clipped here, because I can see what they would try to go for, try to burst him down, again with the same combo they did in the top lane, skewer back RP into Ghost, but the execution just wasn't there. They missed it by a little. Maybe that shockwave, because he didn't turn with the RP, messed up with the timing. He wanted to pull him in with the Storm Spirit into the silence and try to control him, because you're underneath the tower. I'm not sure if they popped the glyph as well. Yeah, they did, for an extra bit of a damage so that all the heroes are being attacked. Difficult to execute, though.
To me, it kind of looked like the Magnus was trying to just get one based on where he blinked, but pulled in 2, maybe on the edge of that RP. I don't know if it was all intended, but Saberlight's happy.
They do see them.
I'm tanky enough to survive it.
This is a new spot that I think a lot of teams have been using for this observer board. Gives you a lot of information where the enemy team is farming or if they're moving down the river trying to make something happen.
Disruption, Pure, Deadshot connects, piercing the veil, has the calling, the silences are all connecting. And Pure getting a kill onto Nisha with the help of Save. So something back for the side of BetBoom, because they're now down 3,000. And also, by the way, Saberlight, he went and got a Blade Mail
off his own. I can't really blame him. They are playing against Muerta, so they want to... Because right now, they don't have that much magic damage against Muerta to kill her. And I see that Pure sees these 2 Blade Mails and immediately goes for the BKB.
Gonna definitely need that BKB. How many Blade Mails does that make? That is 1 for the Tide, 1 for the Ember. We've seen Undyings potentially build one, but I don't think that'll be the case.
Mostly from the off lane.
Yeah. Has the Solar Crest right now. Not upset with that.
You still need to decide how you're going to itemize, because Ghost Scepter doesn't work against Muerta, so that's going to be a downside, so you can save some of the gold. Maybe you can get a Blade Mail, maybe you can get a Glimmer Cape, try to... Force Staff's also going to be fine.
Right.
And seeing the limited lockdown on both of these teams.
Yeah, both don't really have a lot. You've got Deadshot, you've got Vortex, RP, Disruption.
Yeah, they can use Demonic Purge inside the Calling, then a Deadshot, then RP, and still be, or at least try to kill Tidehunter, but it's gonna get more difficult. He's gaining more HP, he's leveling up, Blade Mail available, Essence Ring as well, has extra bit of magic resistance on top of that from his mystical enchantment.
For the side of Liquid, it's Ravage, Searing Chains, and dispose.
And if you use all of that and suddenly you get picked up by Marcy or there's a Glimmer Cape, the fight could be massively different. BetBoom, they don't want to take the fight until they get 3 BKBs. There are 2 available right now, 1 being delivered on Miero. Pure still needs a good 1,000 gold to finish it off.
Yeah. It'll be a couple of seconds. When you're able to rebound in 2, if you can drive Saberlight in there, it is also that 1.7 second stun with rebound. So you can truthfully have a lot of lockdown time if you put it all together the right way for Liquid, but it's going to be tough. GPK farming a little bit deep. Storm Spirit has that BKB. Going back into the Witchblade with the Kaya. They'll go into Roche. Liquid trying to advance this net worth lead and kind of get themselves in Aegis to start taking some more objectives.
Very easy Roche. Damage amplification from Undying. Have a zombie spawning. GPK. He's forcing a BKB out of him. No TP available. Box is gonna chase him.
Why not, right? He's still going forward, and now they're gonna turn Kataomi in, but GPK needs to be careful. The damage, ooh, the jump, and he gets the kill to GPK before he dies. So a blade mail from Nisha, and he will burn out Kataomi. Boxy persisting, and the persistence pays off.
Oh, that shard that he did pick up from Tormentor allows him to rebound off of the enemies, which is really nice and very tanky with this Glimmer Cape. We saw in the previous game Glimmer Cape that Jinkyu did buy on Marcy, but didn't have that much impact because they were losing the game pretty heavily, and you can see like 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes faster than I believe what Jinkyu did buy in the previous game. Saberlight in the mid lane, he is completely isolated.
He is very much alone, and now the calling, he'll pop that pipe, pop that blade mail, still alive. They don't have the damage to take out this Tide with any semblance of ease.
53% magic resistance, 53% physical resistance on Tide at the moment.
Where can they fight next? They are playing pretty far forward. They'll see Kataomi.
Keep it in.
Way out of position, but now GPK, at least with Pure, will get the trade. Miero was looking for something, but again, you've got Ceaseless Dirge, and Insania's back mid. Like, he could come back into the fight, and they could still go for this if they really wanted to. They're working with Ravage. They have the ability to get some lockdown, and Nisha looking over at save. Searing Chains locks up Miero, and Saberlight thinking about going out of the tier 2 tower, but they don't commit to it on the other side of the fight. Insania's being chased.
Running low on mana. Needs to be careful. He wanted to kill Undying as soon as he respawned, but the initiation wasn't there. Miero, like 150, maybe even 200 distance away from getting the skewer back. This time, he
good
gets
shockwave, good skewer, but the RP, oh!
Boxy.
The pick me up out of the RP. Quite the save, quite the jump, and then they got the save, and they'll also kill save.
Oh man, Boxy, I'm just getting some flashbacks in the last Dream League when they were playing with Wheat Tuna. He was playing Marcy, and Wheat Tuna was playing a lot of Luna, and he bailed him out of the trouble so many times.
Unleash
Blade mail.
and Blade Mail.
Multiple Blade Mails.
It will stop him for a second, but Boxy has the rebound now on a GPK. Ooh. Boxy dead to Kataomi, and then they won't be able to get Nisha, who's back towards bottom of the rest of his team.
Good damage onto the 3-3 tower, also forcing the glyph.
That was a great move by Boxy earlier. I'd love to see a replay of that little pick-me-up out of the RP.
Perfect timing.
I mean, they say cool guys don't look at explosions, but cool guys don't look at RPs.
Double BKB forced as well. Okay, Glimmer Cape. Extra bit of a heal coming out. That was a lot of commitment there from BetBoom Team. They thought they had him immediately because he still dies on Tidehunter. Huerta deals good amount of damage. We'll definitely love to have full Mjolnir just for that extra attack speed. Level 17 on Pure.
17 for the Huerta. Almost 19 for the Shadow Fiend. Mickey having a good game at the moment. Nobody really like one-manning this game.
No, it's definitely a team effort. Bing Bong Man himself is pretty much unkillable. Did die 2 times, did some early deaths. But now has a Blink Dagger, has a Shard, has a Pipe and Blade Mail. Very difficult to kill unless they heavily commit. I see that Save is trying to go for the Aghanim Scepter, try to break Tidehunter. Didn't find Greedy Enchantment, unfortunately.
Ooh, taking another little look. In reverse. That was confusing. Seeing it in reverse.
Because it's a reverse polarity, that's why we wanted to show this one as well.
Okay. Little reverse polarity reverse. Okay. Huh. You and production are on like that one wavelength. You got that brain Wi-Fi connecting to them. I'm just sitting here like a fool going, what?
Knock it on that wood again.
It's still just empty.
Kateomi, we've seen this a lot from Nature's Prophet yesterday as well, when Yatoro did play it as carry, put some Observer Ward into the enemy triangle and try to get some farm, but you also got to be careful. Let's see if Team Liquid will have a good read on the situation, if Insania is going to get the D ward on the high ground.
Miro almost has Horn Toss with the Ags. His farm has kind of fallen off. It's slowed down, him and GPK.
That's the problem with some of these Blink initiators, especially if you get them early. If you're showing on the map, it also means you're not putting any pressure, means that they can play freely, seeing that you're pretty much the only guy that can initiate other than the Storm Spirit. I would love to have some extra bit of a farm on Shadow Demon. Needs another 2.4k gold to finish off his Aghanim Scepter.
Not too much if given the time, right?
No.
Kataomi doing a lot of what we've seen some of these carry Nature's Prophets do, farming here across the map.
Kateomi chews the chewing gum very aggressively.
Find out there is no gum.
Lets him stay focused. Also, he's a unit. This guy, like on camera, you can't really see how big he is, but if you see him in real life, he's actually a Giga Chad. Might be the big. He's like puppy size. Might be even bigger.
Chill dude, just a chill guy.
He is chill, but he is also Giga Chad inside of the game. Had some really nice performances so far at the Wallachia.
4 wins out of the 5 matches on that Nature's Prophet. Still a minute plus-ish remaining on potentially getting that Roshan back up. Liquid content with just continuing to farm, get these next big items, as it's 500 gold needed for Saberlight on that Ags. Ags is about 2,100 gold away for the Ember Spirit, but everybody else starting to collect their items on the side of Liquid. Undying holding gold maybe for a gem or the next item, and it is going to be Sanjin Yasha for Mickey if he buys out. He hasn't really been stopped. 2-1-4.
Oh,
1 death over bottom of the laning stage.
Insane amount of farm on Mickey.
They are going to smoke. They are going that direction. But Nisha breaks the smoke of GPK and immediately a ball lightning, but the remnant out. And that means that smoke, they are aware of it. And they start to back up, but Insania staying towards the front, maybe trying to bait them in a little bit. Pure's going to be up out of the high ground. GPK goes inside of his Searing Chains, goes to the BKB. They go to the RP. They find themselves Mickey. I said he hasn't died, and I jinxed him immediately. They get that kill out of the Shadow Feed. They'll look over at Insania. Pure doing a lot of damage, but they're right on top of him. There's the Ravage right into the face of Pure. They have the disruption. They have the control. They hit the 2 heroes that they needed to control. Bing bong. They got him. And Kateomi is going to die too. Liquid, despite losing the Shadow Fiend, that Ravage connects, and that makes sure that they can get the kill into the Muerta, and the carry is gone for BetBoom.
Liquid, they know that if they want to go like this, they need to heavily commit with the BKBs. Pretty much triple BKB popped at the same time to be able to get that kill. And then Tidehunter has a pretty free reign. Like, he has pretty free entry to the fight. He stayed very far away from the fight in the first place. GPK forced to use a BKB, and you can see 3 shiny golden BKBs. Sure, you got Mickey, but look at the positioning from Saberlight. Even though he gets feared, he's waiting. BKBs are down, jumps in, and both of them pop the blade mail. So Pure can't really do much. Like you can attack, deal some of the damage, and kill yourself, or you can try to, you know, just not attack, and eventually you're gonna die. But again, another great fight coming out from Team Liquid.
Almost a disruption save, but when they
doesn't matter. Yeah. He doesn't have any ways to reset the fight. There is no Shadow Blade, there is no Hurricane Pike. Opted to go for more, even more Glass Cannon. MKB, seeing Butterfly on Shadow Fiend. Oh, you're just gonna be dying, like the self-damage during those Blade Mails. It's a very difficult game on Muerta. Considering how they itemized, maybe they can try to kill, and there it is, Aghanim Scepter being delivered on save. Maybe they can try to kill Tidehunter with the break.
Maybe. BKB pierce the veil, but when they pull back the veil, they find a very vulnerable Pure, no longer having this BKB. And with the gush hitting and the damage there, they take out this Muerta again. Save with the Axe, goes after at least this Marcy, who will die to save. Trying to rebound out. Horn Toss and the Skewer back into the base. RP committed. That's another kill here for BetBoom. Starting to chip away at the options for Liquid, but another Remnant forward. Miero's gonna die. He's got buyback, but will he use it? He doesn't have RP anyway. Sprout thinking about the Requiem. That lands, hits GPK. Do they have the control? They got the kill and a save. They've taken out another, but it's time for Liquid to retreat. They don't have a lot left. No Requiem, but they're feeling pretty confident on Ember. There's that Remnant away as they'll start to retreat from the BetBoom base.
If BetBoom somehow has Muerta ready in some of these high ground defenses, Liquid would not go for it, but in a situation where maybe they have buybacks, these are the type of fights that BetBoom can win. Like, it shows the strength of how they're playing, even without Muerta. But then again, Liquid, there are too many problems on their side right now, because you have this Shadowfin who's pretty massive, so is Nisha. Tidehunter dies in the end. He was stunned, he wasn't even broken. Save didn't have Aghanim Scepter ready, I believe, but Miero just dies. Nisha's causing a lot of issues, knowing that they have pretty limited lockdown, and this fear clipped GPK. Also got to be aware of Storm Spirit fighting near his base, being able to replenish mana quickly. And look what GPK has queued up. He's more about his right-click damage and also being able to lock onto a target, remove some of these annoying things, these Glimmer Capes, Solar Crest. They've been very annoying for him.
2 wins for GPK on the Storm, but now spotted by Nisha, forced to leave. And Aegis for 4.5 minutes for Liquid. We'll see what they go for next, how they will play the objective game here. Haven't broken the high ground just yet, but they have been really close to breaking the game open. At 11,000 net worth lead, things are looking good for them, but it seems like they are one good fight away from really sealing the deal.
In the end, GPK swaps his mind, swaps the item, instead of going for that Nullifier, which, like, you can see the thought process behind it, definitely, but opting to go for Parasma, which is also very good in combination with Muerta, because your damage is going to be magical, and it reduces magic damage by 20%. Gives Pure another 20 extra damage. 20% extra damage that he can't deal, but it does feel like he needs a way to reset the fight. We haven't seen that Hurricane Pike, which is pretty much a stable on Muerta, opting to go for more Glass Cannon, picking up that MKB after Butterfly. And that's why now. Yeah, because Kataomi had enough farm to buy Nullifier, and he gets it, but he is completely isolated.
Found 60 seconds. Not pushing just yet, not forcing a buyback. We'll have some time. Refresher being built for Miero, but Insania's here. They've got this Obs and farming real close to where this Undying is at, but nobody else is here to really help him out. Both the Ember and the Marcy are bottom. Success continuing to be found for Liquid, but BetBoom continue to farm. They're trying to find the item that'll help them back into the game the most. They want a Hex from the Storm Spirit. They want a Refresher from Huerta. Ball Lightning and a Vortex on Anisha, but he'll claim those Lotuses. Saberlight. He's buying out. He does not have that buyback anymore.
They have some big items. Aghanim Scepter on Magnus. Shadow Demon. 2 charges on Demonic Purge. Now down to 1. They can still kill the heroes relatively quickly. Pure. They are playing around their vision. GPK. They spotted him, I believe. Saberlight.
Buys a full Hex. More farm than anybody on the side of BetBoom. Hex giving even more control here for Liquid as they are looking to use this Aegis to break the high ground, potentially win the game if the fight is right.
Miero wants to jump in.
Or toss, but side of searing
Mickey
chain.
got him.
Well done.
Mickey, Anisha, Saberlight ready to jump in.
Trying to make a move, GPK. Ball Lightning, but the Gush, he lands on a Katomi. They'll use that Requiem. Save is dead, and this high ground is going to be pierced.
The question is, do you buy back here? You have a lot of damage on Shadow Fiend. Solar Crest sitting at 250, 450 damage pretty much. I mean, it's very long 50 seconds. You have no tier 2 towers available, so they can clean it up relatively quickly.
Buyback from Save. The creep wave's not pushing him bottom, but I don't know if that's really going to matter. They still have an Aegis, still Ravage, but only hitting on a save. GPK is going to go with the BKB, and so is Pure with the BKB, as well as Pierce Veil. They're going to kill Insania, as well as Saberlight. Katomi dead. Last shot in from Mickey. RP used. Pure ends up gone. He'll buy back. They'll look to get the kill here on Anisha. But do they have enough? No, he's able to remnant with the Ball Lightning from GPK. He's got himself the Vortex. They'll drop him off right in front of GPK. They get the kill to
20
Miero.
seconds on Aegis.
Anisha.
Save.
This is a disruption on a Mickey, but they'll use that Aegis. It's an ultra kill for the Shadow Fiend. Buybacks aplenty, but can Mickey get anything else? They've got the Vortex, they have the control, and they'll get him a second time. Oh, the jump back in with the Marcy. Pure,
they want to close it out. GPK, no mana.
It's gone, and it's just GPK that's going to be alive. He's the only one standing between Liquid in the way of finishing this game, and he will die. GG is called. Liquid take game 1.
I love when teams realize that they can close out the game, seeing that the enemy team did buy back, so they kind of risk it one by one. Slowly, they're getting back into the fight, and we haven't seen those RPs like landing on multiple heroes. No real...
Thank you, Nomad. Another informative interview. As if he doesn't pop off, he's ass.
Won't be working with him again. He's out of the team. Pizza Party is waiting for Nisha. I don't think that day is ever gonna come, that Nisha's gonna get booted from the team. Maybe like 2037 or something when he loses will to play DOTA, but we'll see. Panel talked about multiple Blade Mails being viable in this one because you have a Carry Queen of Pain with Bondage Facet, you have Ember Spirit from the mid lane. I would love to see one of them buying a Mage Slayer. Dawnbreaker is also a very good candidate to buy it. Ember Spirit can buy it as well. Even Quap, we saw Queen of Pains like a couple of months ago. Not all of them, but some were still buying Mage Slayer when it's a really good game for it. Because you are playing against Leshrac, you are playing against Puck, Lion as well. There's a lot of magic damage. There is good amount of pure damage coming out from Omni Knight and Pure himself with Diabolic Edict. And also something to point out that Pure is almost dying in this top lane. But also, he is playing a bit of a different facet. This is the carry Leshrac. He's playing with Chronoptic Nourishment, which is going to be the facet that gives him mana whenever he attacks, but it also means that your Diabolic Edict deals damage to the tower. So maybe BetBoom Team wants to speed things up a little bit. Go for these towers, group up with Omni Knight, and try to put more pressure onto Liquid. Insania
dropping for first blood again. I think he dropped for first blood in the previous game, and they were able to get this with Save and Miero. Omni Knight we've seen in the carry role. We saw Ame play this at one point. And carry Quap is dead. That was a lot of damage all of a sudden from half health to no health. And Miero starting to dominate this lane. And the thing that kind of worried me is the carry Leshrac, but now carry Quap. I have some questions.
We've seen carry Quap. We haven't really seen Leshrac, I believe, even though some teams definitely practice it. I think they practiced it even pre-dispatch because these are the type of heroes that Pure likes to play, something that comes online fast. These type of heroes have always been in his pretty much hero pool. He loves to play Dawnbreaker as a carry as well. Bottom lane's not gonna have a good time. Like, you have Enchantress, Queen of Pain, both of them are range, but also giving away first blood, giving away the second kill as well. Now Miero suddenly with those 2 kills, sitting with double bracer, knowing that there's gonna be a good amount of harassment. And also, I want to see which type of a build Mickey will go for in
top lane. Boxy in trouble, but so is the Leshrac. Starbreaker hits. This Shadow Shaman will not get out. Now the chase is on a Saberlight. Already 3-0 in favor of BetBoom Team. They're going to chase this Dawnbreaker all the way back to the tower. The damage is close to getting a kill, but just not enough.
Yeah, I want to see if Quap will put multiple points in Shadow Strike. This is something that Ame did. Skipping Scream of Pain completely, farming with Blade Mail, farming with Maelstrom / Mjolnir, and then opting to go for more stats so that you are tanky enough. But again, this can be dispelled in the lane. Repel is on relatively long cooldown, so maybe you're not getting the actual value of skilling that ability early on, because it's on 55-second cooldown mid. A lot of... like, we've seen Nisha in this same matchup yesterday, where he did manage to catch Puck off guard, get the first blood against Kiyotaka.
Can't quite get the same here yet, but he is keeping up in CS. Boxy again low. This is... been a tough lane for Liquid so far, and you can see the damage coming through on his Saberlight as well. Just not enjoying the constant harassment that's coming through. Shadow Shaman, one of those heroes that normally gives you a lot of kill threat, but for now in the lane, it is definitely not feeling that way. However, they turned that idea around by getting not only Pure's Courier, but Kataomi there too, so it didn't feel like they were having that kill threat, but they dive the tier 1 and go in.
Nicely done by Liquid. They spent a lot of gold onto consumables. Nisha will pick up this water rune.
Ooh, they also got Pure top. Committing under the tower. I said they weren't showing the kill threat, and immediately they make me eat my words. They get those kills. Insania's here, looking over for GPK, and he's got that curveball facet. We saw Quinn earlier go for the Jostling Rift. Saberlight gets pulled in, but the TP is long from Pure. Well, maybe they could get Saberlight, who has options with Celestial Hammer. I wonder if they think about even diving this tower again. They've done some good damage, and they got a couple of kills back into the lane. Feels relatively good. GPK jumping forward. Nisha, ooh, 8 health.
Didn't even use that magic wand. Got extra bit of regen, extra bit of armor from the tower, so he was fine. That extra 2 armor actually making the difference there.
Surviving with just 8 health, walks it all the way back home. But it's better to walk back home and come back into the lane than die and give a solo kill over to your mid opponent. GPK with this should be able to get close to having that level 6 and having that Dream Coil available. Net onto Saberlight. They've got 3 heroes here top. That Earth Spike connects, but the Shackle onto the Leshrac, it's not making the initial difference, and then Pure let go, and we'll end up getting the kill on a Saberlight. Looking over at Boxy, they will find a second, and Kataomi gets credit for the other half. Nobody rotating over, nobody who could really rotate over and fight. The Enchantress was in the vicinity, but they never really had a chance to go.
To the mid lane. GPK will hit level 6 off of the creep, so if he can push it, doesn't have that much mana to work with. Rune is also spawning in 5 seconds. Save. He's gonna be there, but so will Boxy. Even Insania's coming.
It is going to be bot. It's an amplified damage. Save not really worrying about the non-impetus damage that comes through from the Enchantress early on, but with an amplified damage, you can find Save, and You look at how quickly you're able to get that damage out. Searing chains as well as one slight Earth Spike under the tower, but it doesn't matter. Boxy with the Ether Shot gets the kill and a save.
Two supports playing with Nisha.
The sight and the Searing Chains with the Hex. They've got the Shackle to follow it up, and the right-click damage is there, especially with that amplified damage. And they get GPK, who knew these heroes were around.
I guess he was not expecting this type of a damage to come out. Chicken Fingers, Hex into Chicken Fingers, into Shackles, 2 points in it. Oh, they might get the XP rune because of this. Boxy is far away. They are deeping in, though.
Ooh, they got Mickey. They got him, and now they'll get the Shrine.
He's fine with this one.
Happy to give it up. And Saberlight gets the kill on a Kethomi, and they will pick up the other Shrine. So this is going to be support's kind of lacking a little bit. And that's
a little bit, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
if you look at the XP, they're still doing fine.
Yeah,
getting
they've
that
been
kill.
involved a lot.
Boxy has been involved in all 5 kills on Liquid. Save will get early level 6 on Lion, and he is playing Fist of Death Facet. He got the stun. Oh, they're stacked the stuns.
Yeah, but I don't know if it matters. You've got the Hex, and now Solar Guardian kept him alive, and now Mickey, can he get back in or get a kill here? Doesn't want to really jump in and dive too far with the low health that he had, but he popped a salve, and now they turn it. They've got the Ether Shock, and now the Shackle. Dream Coil used onto 2, but Boxy's still alive. They're going to bring over the Ember.
Still fighting.
The Arrow's still fighting Mickey. Saberlight behind him. Illusory Orb just misses the mark. GPK is here, but the high ground. Sonic Wave now lands. They've got the Shackles
what a
onto
fight from Liquid.
Oh, Liquid.
It all started
murder.
Because they stacked those stuns. I guess he was not... Pure was not thinking that there's going to be stun coming out from Save, even though he does land it. And suddenly Queen of Pain blinks out, gets level 6, and manages to come back into the fight. This is the big fight for Liquid. And this lineup from BetBoom, they need to snowball. These heroes, they need to be getting a lot from the lanes. Saberlight will drop.
Getting chased by the supports of BetBoom. Knew he Solar Guardian and then TP'd back to the top lane, and now Pure's going to join them. But let's take a look at this fight. It's a long, drawn-out fight. They stack these stuns, and it's the Solar Guardian that keeps him alive. He's just on the edge of it, but that allows him to blink back, and he pops a salve to heal up.
He did pop the healing salve. He did switch to strength threads before they initiated on him, so that also kept him alive. A lot of these small things added up. And then 2-man coil, but again, they are focusing at the different targets. You see Miero kind of isolated. Pure is awake. He's not level 6 yet, and also very nice dodge here from Mickey. Constant fights, 15 kills, 9 minutes in.
Song used, but Insania and Nisha are coming around the bend. They'll have a remnant. They should be able to kill Save if they spot him. Right now, they don't have the vision. Gets into some darkness. He goes towards the Lotus. He'll be able to maybe get away, but the Sleight of Fist, as well as the Searing Chains, that's some control. Earth Spike and a remnant forward. Save trying to survive, but even on the high ground, isn't able to get away. There's nothing really that could help him escape once they saw him. Liquid doing a good job of getting a couple kills, sustaining the lanes, and counterplaying what BetBoom has. But that really is the name of the draft, right? Like, Dawnbreaker is one of those heroes that you're never comfortable initiating if you're on the other team.
Yeah, it's very difficult. There's a lot of sustain. They have Song to re-engage. You have Omni Knight, who doesn't have a point in Repel, but he has 1 point saved up. Also, later Guardian Angel. Miero has really good amount of farm. He's the most farm hero in the game at the moment.
Hex back and forth. Earth Spike lands on 2. There's the finger, the attempt to kill off Boxy. Good turnaround by BetBoom Team as they counter the counter of this Dawnbreaker. And they're also going to get this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Not a bad movement from them. Top of the net worth for the Omni Knight by a decent amount of gold.
I thought Omni Knight's going to be picked more. This hero looked very strong from the safe lane, from the off lane as well. Gives you really good scaling.
Coil snapping it.
Himself.
Oh, gosh.
Not much he can do about it.
No, not really. And then they got the Hex, the net, and the reel in. you just came back alive, and even with the shackle, Boxy, he's gonna die. He was just dead, just came back alive, just to die once more.
Yeah, usually Lion is the guy who does that with the back to hell and back-to-back deaths, but so far Save has been having amazing impact, involved in 90% of the kills on his side. We'll have a good timing on the Blink Dagger as well.
Given some Kaka vibes with this.
Yeah,
this
I mean,
Lion.
there's Shadow Shaman on one side, Lion on the other side. It's all about the control. GPK doesn't have much mana to work with. Does have 4 Magic Wand charges.
Illusory Orb, Remnant with it.
Very nice read. Again,
it's a good
Save.
read into a Earth Spike. Doesn't matter. Who does he want to go for? Ketaomi's off to the other side. They're actually getting baited here by an illusion to chase.
Kataomi denies it.
Nisha now running back, Pure going in, finds the slow, they have the net, they'll hit the real aim, but now they've got the Solar Guardian, he gets pulled into that, they have the shackles, they look over at Pure, they get the kill!
Nisha,
low song!
Oh,
they should have him. But I say should, because I am wrong.
Oh, man. Maybe if they let him with the song, the Blood Grenade would kill him, even though I'm not sure. Also, Spark of Courage, kicking in, giving him that extra bit of armor, and also allowing him to reset with the Magic Wand.
Committing on the song on that now just leaves you very vulnerable on the side of BetBoom Team, and you don't even get that kill on Anisha. Thought maybe he'd get that kill, but just too strong. Nisha gets so low in this moment.
Onto one, he reeled him in. Maybe if he didn't reel him in, it would land the stun. Like, there's a lot of these small things, and you can see that he's ticking down to Blood Grenade, but it's starting to regen up, because he's not taking the damage. And then surrounded by 5 heroes, gets his Magic Wand, gets his shield.
And then he's never gonna
more
die.
than fine.
Yep. That's the kind of feeling. You got him on the edge, you realize that fight could have been ours with just 1 extra hit. And it didn't end up going that way. He could go north and potentially find Pure. He doesn't have a lot of life. This could be very devastating. Pure Remnant coming through. They have the Hex and another kill onto the Leshrac. This pure Leshrac just not looking nearly as good as the GPK Leshrac.
No, I mean, he also got relatively shut down in the lane. He's the lowest core at the moment. Good thing is you have Omni Knight, who's the most farm hero in the game, who is about to finish off his Radiance. Going to be a good timing, 15 minutes in with the double Bracer and Strength Treads.
But
playing into triple Blade Mail, that's going to be a massive issue.
Yeah, not fun with the uncontrollable damage.
It is unplayable unless you have Repel on you, which Omni definitely will need to use it on him unless you get a BKB. So we'll see if he decides to pick up BKB straight away, seeing that there are way too many Blade Mails at the moment.
Smoke's picked up by both teams. We'll see if that ends up being a fight from either side initiating. Pure getting very low while taking these neutrals. Radiance finally picked up here from Miero. Like you said, he's top of the net worth. He is just ahead of the Nisha Ember Spirit. But Nisha and Boxy heading towards bottom. Mikke is kind of in the vicinity. They're not going to find anybody initially, but maybe they could get onto Miero.
Boxy, Brown Boots, Blink Dagger, Magic Wand. If he gets the initiation, they can follow it with Dawnbreaker. Ooh, a little too short. Needed extra bit of a movement speed there.
Usually one or the other, right? Shadow Shaman, sometimes we see that Aether Lens first, then the Blink Dagger, but this time it's Blink Dagger, maybe into an Aether Lens afterwards. Right now, nothing really queued up. But the Blink Dagger is that initiation. They just didn't have the range to secure that lockdown. Had the numbers to get that kill, though. And you can see, of course, Saberlight trying to get the Ags. That's been a very popular item on this Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, it's the almost instant counter initiation. Foxy is not messing around. Pure needs to run away, seeing that there's a couple more heroes showing in the bottom lane.
Game, though, net worth is very even.
Not sure if they needed to use Shaman wards in the bottom lane. They had a lot of heroes. They had Siege Creep, they had Troll with the Skelly Bros. I mean, look at the damage on this tier 2 tower, down to half HP immediately.
They all back away from the tower, though. They get some of that damage with the Siege Creep. Nisha backs away. Most building damage being done by the Enchantress so far. Okay. Is kind of towards the bottom of the net worth of cores there with Pure.
He'll catch up once he
Solar
gets
Guardian,
Maelstrom.
Starbreaker, just a little bit late. Yeah, that'll start to boost up his gold, and then he should be able to get more towards the top. Miro is the one who's just been farming up really well up to this point. He's going into the BKB. He also looks for a Blink Dagger. He's level 12 and really rolling with this Radiance. He's 4-1-2 so far. He's got 1,000 gold lead on Nisha.
Omni Knight can definitely carry the game. Again, he's also playing into triple Blade Mail, which is not something he likes to do. You're dealing insane amount of damage. It's going to be turned back to you. So repel. And he's also building BKB of his own, which I really like, seeing that he might need to use it on Lesh.
Definitely going to need to use it on Lesh. Lesh needs to survive these fights, and it's not been so easy for Pure in any of the engagements that they've had so far.
They're going to smoke up. I would still love somebody on Liquid.
Oh, finding a Shrek.
Kill. This is a quick one.
Speaking of Pure and speaking of his survivability, he just does not feel comfortable on the map.
Now, I would love to see either Pipe or a Mage Slayer, potentially Pipe after Dawnbreaker finishes off Aghanim Scepter, because there's a lot of magic damage. Everything Puck, Leshrac, and Radiance as well. Insania will be the guy that's going to die. Give some information to the rest of the team. Mekkei's
Ember's
in.
pinching. Coming from the right side. Actually, the Illusory Orb, the jaunt the other way. GPK threw the Dream Coil down onto the Ember Spear. Miero.
These Blade Mails are causing the problems.
He was thinking about focusing the Ember with the help of the Puck, but the Dream Coil wears out and Boxy moving forward, but not finding a target. Again, aggressive play by GPK. He's got that regen rune. And they're not going to continue to fight. Both teams trading a death, but one was on Pure, the other on Insania. Definitely more well worth it for the side of Liquid. It looked like they were going to jump in, but both teams kind of lacking the opening that they were looking for to commit to trying to fight.
BetBoom will probably try to farm BKBs until the next fight. Miro's still not like close to it, but they would definitely love to have one available on Leshrac. Maybe he even decides to pick up Blink Dagger so that he can follow people, so he can follow either Leshrac, who's out of position, give him Repel, follow Puck as well, because you know that GPK is going to try to push the limits on the hero. Yeah. Although there's a good amount of control on their side, he still needs to play like this. Like I don't think they want to be playing slowly, having this type of a lineup. Leshrac getting his BKB delivered on the courier, and without the other facet, with this one from the Optic Nourishment, you can deal damage to the towers easily.
Push this in and see Liquid. They'll get themselves a Tormentor. So that's Shard for Boxy. The game just sitting so even. Neither team pulling away at any mark, and Pure doing kind of what we used to see those support Leshracs do, hide in the trees and push the towers. But they're at 5, and they are going into Roche. They're committing to this, but Liquid are here. This is dangerous. Waning Rift, Silence hit onto the Shadow Shaman. Nisha, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains bails them out of the pit, but they smoke and turn around Dawnbreaker's not going to be nearby because they want to use that Solar Guardian. They'll have that Ags upgrade. So Saberlight going to continue to farm, but they are wrapping far out, up, and wide, or down and wide.
Miro did turn off his
might be
radiance.
the one.
This is a big kill. This is the Aghanim Scepter Dawnbreaker, but he knows. They read the situation well, seeing that they're not inside of the Roche pit.
Insania turns on those wisps to start. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains comes through and locks up this Leshrac. They have the full Mjolnir onto the Queen of Pain, and they're backing away. They are not giving BetBoom that initiation that they really want. Either team, again, finding the right opening to
It's
commit.
hard. They don't have that much damage to kill Roshan instantly. Warpine Raider inside of Roche pit, scouting things out, and seems like both of the teams are going to be trying to reset, maybe get a pick off on the side lanes and then turn it into Roche. Nisha, again, having another flawless game on Ember Spirit so far. 5-0 and 4. Didn't die a single time. Kaya Sanj completed.
Minute faster than average. Blink forward, Boxy going in, has the Hex, the Shackle, and with the Solar Guardian, they've got more than enough to get a kill again onto Pure. The game is close, but the death count for Pure continues to stack up. That's his 5th death. This has been quite the difficulty here for this Leshrac surviving. Searing Chains, Earth Spike. Now, Ember fingered up, and Nisha's dead. That's a 5-time spree going to GPK.
It might be Roche time now. Leshrac is respawning in 15. He can TP to an outpost, but they could definitely use his damage. Roshan still didn't regen up to full HP. So trading Leshrac kill for Nisha kill, and then getting Roshan, this is pretty big. You also have Song ready to disengage.
Anybody coming over from Liquid not looking likely. It is not a quick Roche by any means, but Liquid without Nisha just do not have the confidence to go and contest this at all. And the Croaker is just a little bit too late. He tried. The Croaker tried to maybe be of some help, I guess.
Maybe you can get the Ravage inside. Ooh. And try to deny Aegis if you're there in the right time. A lot of things need to align, but some of the things have been aligning pretty perfectly for Team Liquid. Like we saw some of these fights, all of the neutral items, healing salve that they do have.
What's the 5-minute plan here for BetBoom with this Aegis?
Pure still needs to be careful if they want to be sieging these tier 2 towers. And also, I think Boxy will play this type of a game. Boxy is one of the better players overall when it comes down to recognizing what needs to be done in a certain situation where they don't want them to group up, and he can make this type of a play. How many times we've seen Nisha Invoker with Shadow Shaman, so you go for the Sunstrike play every single time with a Blink Dagger, you find someone on the other side of the map, get an initiation. Now with the Dawnbreaker, you can do the same thing. You definitely have more than enough damage. Maybe you can't kill Omni Knight, but every other hero is gonna die.
Blink Dagger for Pure. Just a movement item here for him. So a defensive item, a movement item. We'll see if Leshrac can output the damage if they have that chance to fight.
Well, that graph is pretty wild.
Up, down, indecisive. But not indecisive is this attack onto Insania, but the Wisps just aren't going to be enough. Pure will have the damage with the Diabolic Edict to make sure that they get the kill onto the Enchantress, so they will be without Insania for 30 seconds. They're in the bottom lane, so maybe they can push this tier 2 tower. It's down to about a 1/4 of its health remaining. They get right up on it. They should be able to kill it pretty quickly.
This is a dead tower. Liquid will try to get a pick off, farm their new, farm BKBs pretty much on every single core. They do have Dawnbreaker with the shard, so that's a bit of a cheap BKB option. Still going for the big BKB. And you also have Nisha. So they still need another good 3 to 4 minutes to farm it up. If they don't die, Mickey is the one who's closest to his BKB, level 18. Mickey about to take over in terms of the net worth. Farming quite a lot. The Searing Signet. It also works on Mjolnir procs, which is really nice. Allows you to farm so quickly.
The impact from Queen of Pain was really, for the most part, that one fight bottom.
Still yet to see. Like, this is carry co-op, so you're not getting involved as much. You will be hitting the creeps. Once you get to your big items...
Oh, this is annoying.
You deal a lot of right-click damage.
Just hides in the trees, does some damage to your tier 2s. Some Gale Guards coming through. And a brawny gunpowder gauntlet for this Omni Knight.
I'm just gonna call it gun from now on. It's a lot of words. Leshrac is the most fancy one. Chronoptic Nourishment, Chronoptic Energy. It is a lot. It's a mouthful.
Certainly is. I think you could say it 5 times fast, though.
Nisha.
Saves your Earth Spike.
He got initiated on.
Finger stunned, but the Solar Guardian, they have the Hex, but is it enough to even save him? Sonic Wave comes through. They end up trading, but Pure loses that Aegis. Pure's going to have a BKB, but do they have the control? No, he's going to get the BKB off. He'll look over at Mickey. They'll go to the Starbreaker. Saberlight backing away for a second. But now, finding GPK, the song, BKB. Mickey needs to be careful. They're TPing out, though. Pure's leaving, and the rest of the team is going to leave. Ooh, they hit the Hex on a Miero. Serpent Wards, the Celestial Hammer, the damage onto Shadow Shaman's not going to be enough to get a kill, but they will take out Miero.
It was a nice try from Miero, turning off Radiance and then trying to go for the TP. Didn't work. Boxy, too good. A little bit unfortunate for Liquid. Nisha dies there. I don't think he got the Gale Guard off. He also had Regeneration Rune in the bottle. If he clicks any of those, I think it would be just enough, because Solar Guardian did come through. This is also level 2 Solar Guardian pre-fight. Now it's level 3, so it's going to be a lot more healing coming out.
Could have had a chance to survive and completely wipe that fight.
Sitting underneath Yobs.
Yeah, under the Yobs, and now Hex, but another Solar Guardian's coming through, dropping down on a save. Who will Gale Guard? Force Staff, get away! Oh, save surviving. Who can they find? Pure. He doesn't have a BKB for 19 seconds, but they need to try and find him. They'll hit the Hex. It's going to be on a Kataomi, and they'll go get themselves a Naga Siren. But that is certainly not what they wanted.
Oh, Save could have died there if Saberlight somehow knew that he's still there. Running towards his...
I cannot believe Save survives that Gale Guard.
Gale Guard. They're still chasing. Pure down to half HP. Needs to be careful, though. This is not an easy kill to get. 3,000 HP on Dawn. If he gets the Blade Mail off, need to disengage immediately.
Nisha going for the BKB, but of course, wise to the Obs that was up there. They took that out. They go to the Hex, but the other Hex turns it around. They go to the Finger, and they get themselves the kill with the Earth Spike. Save. A quick 1-2 punch. Points his finger at Boxy, and then wipes him off the map for a second.
More than Boxy could candle. See candle, because Lion has the candle set.
Yeah, I see it.
This is a really good looking set. I love this one. I think it's one of the... It might be the rarest one out of all of them.
Is it? Of all Lion sets?
Not all Lion sets, but from that particular set.
Oh. That's pretty cool. I like the idea. Gives a little Luigi's Mansion vibes with the
candle. For sure.
I'm still a fan of the fish, all the fish stuff that he has from the Immortals. But that's just me. They go up here, 30-minute mark, and I believe looking to do Torm. It's Tormy time. Use that Gale Guard and then get in, take Torm, Guardian Angel, and a Shard for Pure. this shard is a lot of area denial in fights.
It is, especially if you're like, in terms of reset with Nagasong, now you can use Split Earth maybe, you can use Puck Coil. GPK is getting bigger. He is going for a bit more damage-oriented build. Octarine Core has Amplified Damage, has Whisper, and now about to finish off Parasma. Queen of Pain, she was thinking about going for the same route immediately, but for now it's just going to be Witchblade into Scotty, trying to reduce some of that healing that is coming out, and also going to give him good amount of stats.
Top of the net worth by about 3,000. At the same time, though, BetBoom Team, they lead the net worth overall. They took that lead when they took that Tormentor. Naga Siren's got a lot of farm. So does this Enchantress, though, almost at 10k net worth. The Ench drums Pike going into a shard, so maybe we've seen this. We used to see this a lot more with Enchantress being more popular when Impetus and all that damage really did start to stack up. Miero spotted, but there's the Hex coming in from Save. They caught Nisha again. Fingers Sonic Wave, but there's the Solar Guardian to get the save. Pure still running from Saberlight. They give up on that chase. They focus their attention on the Katheomi. They've also got Nisha low. He needs to remnant away, but the blink forward from Mickey gets the silence onto a couple. They got the Hex. They go to the Guardian Angel. Now Shadow Shaman Yule's up into the air. They've got the Split Earth down. They look for that Shackle. Katheomi's going to be dead, but Pure with the BKB. Can he get the damage out? Miero's there with a Purification. The damage on a save. Insania gets the kill with the Impetus. GPK takes out Saberlight, but Mickey, he finds the jackpot and kills off Pure.
Even without using the Blade Melder, you can still feel like this carry Quap. Oh god, they found him. Can he blink out?
Miero might be some help. It might even be the turnaround. Oh, Miero! Can you handle the Impetus, though? The damage. Ooh. God damn, that Enchantress hurts.
I believe there was one miss chance. One miss. A bit of a Kale action.
Yeah, a little Kale.
Oh, Enchantress finally dealing some of the damage. 3.5.
500 ping.
Plus Mosquito again. Mosquito is back. We did not kill it yesterday.
It came back, just buzzing around. I used to have one of those rackets for bugs. Yeah. I'd be at summer camp and it would electrify them.
Wait, electrify them? I only had the plastic one.
Oh, I had the one that was electric, and they would just burst into flames.
Good fight overall for Liquid, I would say. The Queen of Pain not dying. Mickey, look at his net worth, 21,000 here. Miero making the turnaround play. That was nicely done. But Queen of Pain, once she gets, like, this is also, like, you see the power of them, because they need to go in on Liquid and get stuff done during the BKB, so they need to pop them relatively early on, seeing that there's going to be Naga Siren that is going to try to reset with Song. And we saw it 2 days ago when BetBoom, when they were playing, I believe it was against NAVI, or 3 days ago. That fight with Refresher on Naga Siren did allow them to win the second game against NAVI. Going for the same item build this time around. Kateomi loves to play these heroes that do give him good amount of farm. Like Nature's Prophet position 5, Naga Siren allows you to get more farm and start to scale. Right now, like, you can see him creeping up. Maybe even getting close to Nisha.
Yeah, Nisha not really finding the pop-off that we thought he might. But kind of being... He doesn't need to be the main carry of this team at the moment.
Not necessarily. That's why I said at the start that one of them can buy Mage Slayer. You are playing into Leshrac, you are playing into Puck, damage from Radiance line, all that stuff does add up. And I see him going for Mage Slayer right now. That's what in his quick buy, 35 minutes in. So pretty late one. Will definitely give him more survivability in some of these early engagements.
Aegis.
Mickey, aggressively blinking in.
Liquid, and yeah, immediately tries to blink into something. They find themselves Katheomi. It's the Yules from Boxy. There's the Hex. Gale Guard, though. And Miero willing to throw that Repel onto this Naga Siren. Miero has certainly salvaged and won fights for BetBoom. He has got nothing queued up at the moment, but he just spent out. He's got that Sanjin Yasha and looking towards whatever he's going to get next. And then it's BKB for Insania. We've seen this. Enchantresses just, they scale.
They do. This is with shards. Proink is ready. Drums, Hurricane Pike. Does have Vast as well, so extra attack range is there. Mickey is the big issue for the enemy team. Him being more maneuverable in between the fights. Has that Sonic Wave on a relatively short cooldown. Might use it twice, might use it 3 times even if he uses buyback or if he respawns with Aegis. Now going for the high ground. Nobody's showing from BetBoom.
Have the 35-minute double catapult. Ooh. Kateome at the same time getting taken away from the fight. And then just shots coming in from Enchantress willing to step up. Double catapults get taken out, so that push will stop. Hurricane Pike to get some distance and continuing to farm, but Pure coming off from the side. He's actually farming nearby.
Mickey just hit level 25. Those extra 2 seconds, minus 2 seconds on Blink, does allow him to jump in, and he just finished off Scotty as well, which makes him super tanky. 3.3k HP on Queen of Pain with Aegis. They will put the banner
Silence.
down.
Hex and the Repel.
Repel is on a relatively long cooldown. It's a 40-second cooldown ability.
Okay, taking a lot of damage and blinks back into that upgraded Split Earth. They are going to take the tier 3 tower. There's not much they can do. The banner is here, and they've also got the Serpent Wards committed. Save smoked up, looking for an opening. They're going to TP Pure forward. He'll try to find a stun. It's a lot of area denial, and there is the Earth Spike, the Finger, the Split Earth, and the Aegis. But the Sword Guardian, it's a little bit late. They've got the BKB from the arrow.
Song to try to reset.
Song, BKB, Celestial Hammer running away, but the stun's landing. It doesn't matter with the Song out. They're trying to drain the mana. They'll go to another Split Earth. They got both racks. They'll look at Pure, Guardian Angel onto him. But Liquid, they lose the Shadow Shaman. They do get the bottom set of racks, and they start to retreat, but nobody here from BetBoom can catch up to these Liquid heroes.
Relatively clean. They jump in. They get stuff done. Only losing Boxy. Losing that Aegis, but putting it to a good use.
Now it'll be some time till they get that next Aegis, but I kind of honestly expect the game to go slow up to that point. We'll see where Liquid go when they've got Boxy back into the mix. Dawnbreaker's working on level 24, getting closer and closer to 25.
He got these. He got the neutral item, big AoE for his spells. That's going to be pretty massive.
The made-up word, Dizun, or Dizun.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it these from now on.
That works.
But also, something to point out is how BetBoom is trying to amplify the damage, because you are playing into a lot of these BKBs, and post-BKB, there's going to be a good amount of damage dealt, because you have Shiva's Guard, which amplifies magic damage by 15%, and you also have Parasma, which does lower their magic resistance by 20%. And you also have Whisper of the Dread on Puck with Timeless, so debuff duration, extra 8% spell amplification.
It's quite nice. By the way, 5 blinks on BetBoom. All looking for the right positioning. Not easy. This Hex on Pure, if he gets it, definitely going to be a fight changer. Have that extra control, and if they can go after Mickey, who's outputting so much damage, start with him, the rest kind of falls into place pretty easily. Queen of Pain went to the Iascadi like you were talking about, skipping the finish of the Parasma, but
it is
back for
it is insane damage that you deal with this Queen of Pain. She definitely has the highest damage in this game. In the last couple of fights, Mickey popped off completely, managing to also finish off kill on Pure in the last fight. BKB, Aghanim Scepter. A lot of items on Saberlight. Definitely scaling with this Dawnbreaker.
Definitely scaling, and Ember gonna have Aghanim Scepter soon, and there it is.
He was thinking about picking up that Mage Slayer. I think it would have been a really, really good early game purchase, but also decided to pick something slightly bigger.
Now looking for a Hex of his own.
Yeah, still, like you want to have buyback, so not going to have that Hex for a really long time. Pretty even game overall.
It hasn't really split on the net worth lead throughout these first 40 minutes of the game. At most, has been about 2,000. This is the highest it's been all game. Other than that, the game really hasn't... The game started 70-30, 58-42, but they go for pure. Solar Guardian and an Earth Spike from a distance, but save.
Oh, look at this damage.
The Sonic Wave. They'll get the kill and a save. They'll look for pure. The BKB, but the damage, is it going to overwhelm him? No, it won't. They'll Song, but that gets a little bit wasted, and now blinks away from the arrow. BKB, TP out. The damage onto him is not enough, and the TP away from the Naga Siren.
All right, it might be a good time to maybe queue up a Basher on one of these heroes, just to make sure that it's not going to be happening again. Dawnbreaker has a good amount of farms, sitting at almost 4,000 gold. That's enough money to buy AC if he wants to commit after the tower. But could also maybe disassemble his SNY, get a Basher. It's fine to also get full Abyssal Blade and have SNY. You're kind of losing a little bit of a value from the double Sange, but it's whatever. Still gives you the tankiness.
GPK hexed. Oh, caught! That's a problem. Repel comes in from Yarrow, forced to drop down the Dream Coil. Now the Split Earth. That connects. Nisha taking a lot of damage here from Pure. They jump forward. These heroes just do not have the life, but the Solar Guardian dropped down right on top of Pure.
Pressure on
He's
Kataomi.
in trouble. The damage with the impetus. They get the kill to the Leshrac. The song is not in time. Liquid, they did not buy tickets to the concert, and they will ignore all the music. They go with the Remnant forward, trouble. They find themselves saved. Mickey's gonna die, though. He's got buyback. Pure doesn't, and now it might be time for Liquid to retreat.
They definitely do, but they want to chase. GPK, blink ready in 5 seconds.
Illusory Orb, curveball.
Off cooldown. He needs to blink in aggressively.
They all have blinks, they all have ways to go, and that's exactly what they show there, but Saberlight goes back in with the Starbreaker. They have the Hex, it lands under the Ember, they go to the Shackle, it's on a save. Save survives. Fingers Saberlight, and now you've got the Enchantress in trouble too. Boxy, Saberlight, they're paying so much for this on Liquid. It looks like it's going to be another with Nisha dead again. Insania is the only one that ends up running away.
It was Leshrac who was dealing most of the damage, blanking in and then soaking up all the damage, kind of sacrificing himself for the team. And then GPK pulling in some big right clicks. Did use the coil as well, and now got level 25. So this puck is going to be a pretty big issue. You have level 15 talent. He didn't actually take the Dream Coil cooldown with Octarine. Would put him down to like 40-second cooldown, but we're going to be seeing it again. GPK blinking in aggressively, knowing that Miro's behind him. He had to use that repel.
Look at save.
The coil as well, save. This team is very, very good at team fighting, not overlapping spells. Maybe we saw something at the start with the 2 stuns overlapping, but other than that, they're really on point. Mickey got slept here, and then he got initiated on again by a GPK save, setting things up with another stun.
They got the buyback from save. But that was really it. Pure was dead for a majority of that fight, and yet still, BetBoom looked like the stronger team. Obviously, they had the buyback, and once they took out Mickey, a lot of that damage was gone, and now they go for Roche. They do not have Dawnbreaker, they do not have Ember, and the damage on Roshan, but they're gonna go with... Is Mickey gonna make the jump? Is he gonna try for this? Aegis, oh, Sonic Wave, not gonna get it. Now he's in trouble.
BKB off.
BKB, oh, the finger, Mickey! He got the kill and a save, but is that worth it? Song now on a both supports on the side of Liquid. Here comes
Mickey with the buy.
Solar Guardian, that's gonna drop down. They'll look over and try to get the kill to Miero. Miero, though, is there with the help of Fury, goes to the Guardian Angel. The BKB is popped by Insania. Boxy still surviving. They hit the Hex. They get the kill to Kataomi. They ball back on Mickey. They'll find themselves Pure. The damage with this Eye of Scotty as well as Mickey with the BKB.
Mickey's doing the right click.
Saberlight, Boxy, Volte, Kataomi buys back, but Mickey, he's got a triple kill taking out Miero.
Boxy's coming as well.
It's out of the hands of Pure. They hit the Hex. They've got themselves a splitter, but it's not going to matter. The damage is there, and down goes the Leshrac.
Oh, that was such a clutch buyback from Mickey. It's pretty much what won them the game in the previous one. Nisha and the whole team understanding what needs to be done, seeing that some of them used the buyback. Mickey jumping in, killing Save, who doesn't have buyback available, and then he recognizes we still have a tier 2 tower in the mid. I can TP and get to the close to the fight relatively quickly with that 4-second blink cooldown.
Gotta be a little bit careful. No buyback on Mickey. No buyback on Boxy.
No buyback on Leshrac. He doesn't have enough gold. He needs almost 500 gold.
Refresher is available for Keteomi if he wants to just refresh, but there's 30 seconds waiting on the song. Probably not going to use it. 20 seconds now.
Saberlight also has buyback available. Can come into the fight with Solar Guardian.
Dream Coil.
Snaps the coil. And
Insania.
Boxy's also in trouble now.
Yeah, he jumped in to try and react, but gets away. No, GPK not letting him leave. The supports do not have buyback. GPK, he's the one saving this game, and they'll TP out on Nisha, but Mickey needs to leave because he does not have buyback. GPK is right on his tail.
Oh man, GPK having a blast of a game. This is a very annoying puck to deal with. Almost 5,000 damage in like 30 seconds.
GPK 10, 3, and 10. And he is godlike. So what does that math out to? He started 1-3, and now he's 10-3.
Well done.
A thumbs up. That's good math. I always forget with the godlike beyond godlike number. Is it 9 or is it 10?
Because you're never godlike in your games, huh?
No, I'm a 5-position ancient apparition.
Mega kill streak, max.
Yeah. Rampages, look at my profile, 0.
Leshrac also got level 25. So that's going to be even more damage. This is Leshrac that deals damage to the towers. So the towers are going to melt. Boxy doesn't have buyback. He did buy out in the previous fight. Saberlight did go for Basher. I kind of like that. They need to be able to control them during the BKBs. We'll go for Tormentor. Everybody except Nisha does have Shard available, so that's going to be Nisha's Shard.
Snapping. Uh-oh. And there's that shard for Nisha. It's also some gold, but this mid-set Arax with the banner down. Can they make a move? Remnant forward, thinking about it. Celestial Hammer, but the blink in from GPK. He is playing on the edge and on the brink of what you can pull off with this hero. They've got creeps pushing into the tier 4s.
Good
so if they
damage
hold
to the
him
tower.
here, they might be in trouble about going back out of this, but GPK, he went for it, and now Pure, he's in trouble. They go to the song.
He got the bash.
Up 2, but Pure's in trouble with the Celestial Hammer on him and the BKB. They're trying to get the kill, but save or spike attempt. Sonic Wave not really going to do enough, but they'll get the kill to Kanteomi. They'll look for the refresh. Sonic Wave once again.
Mickey's dying. No BKB.
Oh, he's in trouble with the BKB, but they got themselves this Dream Coil. It pierces debuff immunity. Nisha's dead. Saberlight gone. They chased too far. They got tricked. GPK went back to the base, but he's here again. Insania, oh, you survive long because you're untouchable, or so you think. GPK beyond godlike.
They do have 2 buybacks available, but they don't have the buyback on the most important hero. They do not have it on Queen of Pain. Again, GPK destroying the fight. Same goes for Pure. His damage numbers are starting to add up, and they should try to go and get those buybacks out. They know that there's no Queen of Pain. Seems like they're taking
seconds.
it slowly. They want to take another side. Saberlight with the buy.
They will have the advantage on the buildings. Dream Coil again. Remnant the Hex, but do they have the control? GPK has taken over this game. Boxy's still alive. The arrow died to Nisha, but Saberlight, he bought back and he's dead again. Maybe that slows him down, but the buyback from the arrow was available, so he just TPs to the outpost and he's
TPs and he's bringing AC to the fight. They want to end this one. They want to have extra attack speed, extra minus armor on the buildings. 50 seconds without Queen of Pain. Glyph is available.
Trying to use these couriers to pull these creeps off a little bit, but 40 seconds, no Queen of Pain. How long are they willing to stay? Searing Chains, Ether Shocks, Illusory Orb coming through. They've got Dream Coil once again.
They're buying time.
They glyph, they back off for a second, but they still want to try and get this to a game 3. One of their tier 4s is gone, and the creeps that are over in the base, they look over at Boxy. They should have the kill. The silence is there. They take him out. He's going to be gone for 80. There's the Hex here. Spike the Dream Coil. They've They've got the control to get the kill on Anisha. Insania's the only one alive. The tier 4s are gone. The throne is exposed. They don't have themselves anything to stop this. The glyph is unavailable.
They can't stop it.
is called, and BetBoom, they take back game number 2 and push us to 3.
Oh man, we've seen some great comebacks, but this game was...
And the cost.
Thank you very much. Coming into the final game of the day, we've got a final pause of the day. A couple of disconnects. We've had a little bit of this. It's been some high ping spikes, but other than that, everything's been pretty hunky-dory.
Who the hell is hunky-dory? I feel like a lot of these American sayings don't have background. Maybe like some 30, 40 years ago, and people forgot what this actually means.
You know, somebody really close to me, very informative, said people just make up words, and that's how language was formed. I'm not going to say who specifically.
Tell me the story about hunky-dory. I heard the story about Humpty Dumpty, but never heard the story about hunky-dory.
Hunky-dory was a person who... I believe lived in the 1930s, back when people were naming their kids Hunky, and then their last name, of course, Dory. Very happy person. They live their life day to day, just honestly with a smile on their face. And then, you know, you'd go around town and everybody would be like, wow, he's a real happy guy. And then when you said it to other people, you're like, oh, you're kind of like Hunky-Dory. You're real hunky-dory. And so that kind of caught on in about the 40s. And so when that caught on, it became a real big turn of phrase in the United States.
I think we saw a picture quickly on screen. David Bowie with Hunky-Dory album, I guess, or a song. Not sure what that was.
Oh, Hunky-Dory.
There it is.
Yeah. Also, great song, Starman from David Bowie. There's also a Fish song named David Bowie. It all comes full circle. Everything I said about Hunky-Dory, by the way,
made
not
up.
True.
Yeah, it sounded like a shit story to start with.
I thought it sounded really informative, and people in chat were going to be like, really? That's just Hunky-Dory. That's what I thought.
Well, I thought that this game is going to be very interesting, and I still do after that Hunky-Dory story. And yeah, Beastmaster, we saw Miero on some of these heroes, especially Lycan yesterday. We saw his Enigma, I believe, as well, where he played really, really good. These summon heroes where he goes for the helm. He goes for the helm of the Overlord as well. Gives them a really good early timing.
Shards?
It feels like they're not committing. Dead Boar, slowing them down a little bit, slowing down Nisha. So some mana used. Miero getting the stick charge out of it, and also getting the Blood Grenade. Blood Grenade is the big one.
Yeah, the Blood Grenades early. You always feel like you're going to try and go and get first blood, but throwing them and then doing nothing is very Faceless Void in the 4 vibes. It's time walk in, throw a Blood Grenade, do nothing more.
We killed that hero, we really did. At least from position 4. I think there's still an okay chance this hero to be picked as carry in some situations. It's a bit on the slower side, but we also seen some longer games. This tournament, the average game time, I believe, is slightly lower compared to some previous tournaments overall. We'll check that one real quick.
Is it really?
Oh, it did go up. It's, again, up to 40 minutes. And as soon as we get to the playoffs, the games become longer.
Yeah, it does feel like that. It feels like also we've had a lot of games, a lot of 3-game series. Obviously not today. This is the first one of the day. But longer game times, you really think Void's in a spot that they can come back situationally?
He's not an S-tier carry by any means, but I think he's in a pretty similar spot as Phantom Lancer that we've seen today. It is a very situational pick that can work.
Wonder if we'll see any of it going forward. I know there was a couple games in which you were kind of calling for it, but what these players are calling for right now is GPK back on the puck. He had an amazing game number 2. He's what really led BetBoom to a victory, because Pure on that Leshrac in the safe lane wasn't getting much of anything.
Yeah, he really wasn't. It was pretty much GPK that was carrying them for the first 45 minutes or so, and then Pure also did a good job in a couple of the fights later on, but he was the driving force of the team pretty much. Monkey doing a good job in the mid lane. As expected, he's playing against Puck. He still has a full wave coming next to him's tower. And again, we are seeing a lot of Monkey Kings from the mid lane going straight for the Diffusal Blade, but ooh, misses the stun on that creep.
Yeah, decided to also take the extra shot at the puck instead of going for that range creep, but overall, still happy with the way the lane is going. 12-4, just the puck's 9-1.
Also something to point out, the top lane, they counterpicked this. He's going to be playing Dawnbreaker again. With Tusk, this is a super strong lane. You get the tag team. With the Starbreaker, you are applying all of that extra bit of a damage during the tag team. Not the most effective against the Lifestealer, because if you go into Rage, they kind of expected this one to happen. And again, we're going to be seeing Kataomi on Nature's Prophet. Did one hell of a job in game number 1.
This is what I was expecting, the jump on the Nature's Prophet. I mean, yeah, you can go for Lifestealer, but it's just so much easier to go for Kataomi, and they will look over at Pure.
This is also a lane where
do the damage.
You can't really stop them from going on you. There's literally nothing to stop the Starbreaker from going off, and that's going to be causing some of the big issues. If you get this either Snowball or Ice Shards on Kataomi, he's going to die, especially now that they are level 3. 2 points in Celestial Hammer is more than enough. So Kataomi will need to play much more careful in this one. Mickey
bottom, he's got the Shadow Word that's healing him up. It's only level 1 because Warlock's just level 2.
Usually this lane would be very, very bad for Ursa, and Kataomi is just going to die again. I don't think he can come back to this lane. I think he needs to try to make a move, try to make something happen in the bottom lane, maybe even TP mid, where GPK is going to be trying to get some trades going. He TPs in with the Blood Grenade, because this top lane is unplayable for him.
Would you see if Save would make the
mid.
switch?
There it is. Blood Grenade. He's coming in.
Yeah, Nisha's in trouble. Nisha dead. Ends up losing his life to Kataomi. That's the real big success, and he will walk his way back up towards top. Miero's taking a lot of damage. But now Pure, they've got the Snowball, they'll pull in the Dawnbreaker, and he is kind of going away from where Kataomi was coming in, and Pure is inside the Lotus Fountain, but running away from Boxy and getting enough space to survive. Just barely.
I mean, they could have gotten that kill. If Saberlight had that branch inside of his inventory, it would give him just enough mana to cast Celestial Hammer there. They might still get him here. Pure has Rage available, but they also need extra bit of a mana. This type of a lane does consume a lot of mana.
Gonna heal up a little bit, Boxy. Now going a little bit further, but Saberlight, he'll eat some shots here from Pure while Tusk leaves the lane initially. If Kataomi is going to show up back into the lane, though, there is definitely that conversation of, hey, let's just jump him again, right?
Yeah, and this mid matchup, Monkey favored. Suddenly with this one rotation, GPK, he's back to the game. He's going to be having Coil pretty much the same time as Nisha would be level 6, so they can start to play slightly more aggressive with another TP in, with another Blood Grenade, maybe an Urn Charge. Kataomi still needs to be careful. As long as they have mana on Saberlight and Boxy, he can die. He shows up. Boxer right now, I believe he was doing some of the... No, he was just walking, giving some of the XP to Dawnbreaker. They want to give him slightly earlier level 6.
That Solar Guardian good for a lot of these aggressive plays, especially when you're kind of forced in a little bit close with Dream Coil and Roar. If you're right up on them, Saberlight can just come in with the Solar Guardian and get these saves. Speaking of save, Shadow Word and Fatal Bonds. Save goes for the Hex, but they're going to TP in this Nature's Prophet. No, he'll stop it for a second. They're still trying to get this kill. Boxy comes over, and GPK forced to Illusory Orb and jaunt behind the tower. No movement here from Kataomi. He thought about TPing in, but just never really found the spot to commit to.
Nicely done. Getting the kill. Giving some of the XP, Black Grimoire, Charge, and Warlock. Hexpear Rune about to respawn in 30 seconds. Relieving some of the pressure from the side lanes. He can't really kill Pure unless he makes a mistake with Rage, but he should be fine. If he sees Starbreaker, if he sees Snowball, he can still hold it. They want Kataomi.
They want Kataomi.
About
they want
TPing bottom.
Too.
This bottom matchup for Ursa, if he had a different support, would be borderline unplayable. You're playing into Lion and Beastmaster. There's a lot of spam. You can't really kill the boars. But Warlock is at least healing him, so that's a bit of a benefit. Allows him to stay relatively close to the HP, full HP.
He is level 5.
Good amount of levels.
We've seen some Warlocks go the different build. It's 2-2 for him right now. We've seen Warlocks go 1-4-4. Here, just fighting back and forth. Boxy shows up, shards off the mark, just the touch. Will be another level in that Shadow Word for Warlock, so healing up, or having the availability to heal up that Ursa even more. Pure only level 5, halfway to it. Sprout just looking for some heal. Boxy goes up onto the steps, thinking maybe Twin Gate. He's got a lot of mana to work with. There is this deep obs, though, in the bottom lane that kind of gets them enough vision and information. There's also this ward over mid that is doing the same thing. And that ward mid is pretty out of the range of that sentry, and it will be an amplified damage bottom. That's because GPK is here. They've got the Ob Sentry combo. Kataomi comes in. They'll find the Sprout. He's able to get away. Insania, though, he doesn't have the mana to go and get this Shadow Word on Amike. They'll bring in the Monkey King. Earthspike from Save. Nisha turns around and needs to leave with 4 heroes here for the side of BetBoom.
A nice turnaround play. Saberlight, I guess he was also calling that he is about to crack level 6. He did kill the creeps in the top lane, allowing Amike to turn and try to go for the counterplay. Nisha with this amplified damage. Let's see if he can find something. GPK, not the easiest target to kill.
Primal Spring, GPK, shards on the money, but has that illusory orb and goes to the right. Can't keep up with the puck. The ever-elusive puck, the ever-elusive GPK. And he's got some support, so BetBoom making sure that this puck survives, telling him he's got protection, King. Fatal Bonds come through. Wukong's command is used, and Senya ends up dead first. They'll focus their attention on the Miero. Saberlight comes in with the Solar Guardian. Primal Roar, Boxy dead. Miero's got a double kill, and now they're looking over at Nisha. Mickey blocked out. Sprout keeps him away from the fight. Dream Coil snaps. They'll get the kill on Anisha. There's the Earth Spike. 4 kills for the side of BetBoom Team.
Oh man, this fight could have been a lot different if Warlock was level 6. If he had 1 extra Black Grimoire charge, he did connect with the Fatal Bonds onto multiple heroes, but was lacking that extra charge, maybe 1 kill, maybe something from the lane, and then that fight with the Rock could have been different. But good block off by Kataomi. Sprout also showing that they do have vision on the high ground. It is from Watcher, but big dub for Bibbidi Bobbidi team here.
Snowball very short. But the Balance Strike, they've got the shards. Kataomi here with the Sprout. They're going to TP in a +1 to save. Earth Spike on a 2, and now they'll look for the turnaround. They'll hit that Hex, they'll drain that mana. Illusory Orb over again. GPK is here, and they turn this one, that aggression from Liquid. They get punked on, and that is going to be more for BetBoom as they look for Boxy. They'll drag this Snowball all the way towards Save, because he has another Earth Spike ready to go, and that's another 2 kills for BetBoom.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Miero is taking the tower. BetBoom team playing it very fast. Ursa, not the hero that wants to join like early on in some of the fights. We saw Mikke trying to do so, but also not the easiest game for him. Usually Ursa does join once he picks up the Blink Dagger. And also this time around, you have good heroes to maybe steal away Roshan from Ursa with Helm build on Miero. And now, with Dark Troll Summoner, he can... Oh man, Insania.
Oh no.
He has Boots of Speed ready this time. Still gonna die. Good block.
He's really unable to get away from that. Gonna need more than Boots of Speed to escape that aggression. Pops out of the Ancient Creep, and they're pushing this tier 1 tower. Quick kill. Quick buildings. BB team just keeping it objective based. There is not a lot for Liquid to do at the moment. They want this Diffusal on Nisha. They want the Battle Fury and probably +2 items for Mikke. We've seen a lot of Battle Fury BKB Blink. GPK with the Silence with the Waning Rift goes into the Dream Coil. Nobody else here. There is Solar Guardian available, but the Wrath of Nature flies through. Boxy's still moving forward, but it will be a regen rune over in the bottom area, and that is just going to be a Earth Spike finger to get a kill here for Safe.
Maybe if Boxy was level 6 there with the punch, they would be able to land the stun, snowball, then use Boundless Strike, which is level 4, and now GPK is going to pick up regen rune for himself.
Yeah, that's the way Nisha went. I thought he was going to pick up the regen rune, and now it's there for GPK. I guess Keteomi was enough of a deterrent, thinking there was more behind him. And he's got this Spirit Vessel now. He's very happy with the farm he's getting. He's only 1,100 gold behind a Monkey King. And we've talked about the scaling, right? Keteomi on this Nature's Prophet is going to scale real well.
Spirit Vessel already done. 12 minutes in. Eventually, you will get the farm. This is very... Like, you can farm anywhere on the map, so you can be wherever. Miro clearing some of these big stacks. Just got the helm ready. Take over the Dino.
Miro and Save getting together to smoke. Also has that Helm of the Overlord, so he's got an Ancient Thunderhide right behind him. GPK's got Dream Coil. They'll go towards top, but look at how far retreated the side of Liquid are. They're so deep on their side of the map. They're going to have to try and find somebody pretty deep in, and Keteomi goes forward and finds that Sprout, but the Celestial Hammer thinking they can turn this around. Earth Spike the Snowball. They're going after Keteomi, but Mickey, he comes through. Walrus Punch takes out the Nature's Prophet. Fatal Bonds. Is the damage going to be enough? Chaotic Offering comes in. Save's going to be dead. They'll look for more. They'll chase after Miro.
Miro has no boots.
But Boxy,
chase him down.
Do they have shards? They have Snowball in a second. They should be able to keep up with the Beastmaster, but GPK is here. Boundless Strike, Wukong's command. Miero looking for a target. GPK out of the fight. They cannot save Miero. That's going to be 3 dead. A good turnaround there by Liquid. But BetBoom, can they even think about jumping in for more? No Dream Coil available. Pure has Infest in a second. And these heroes on Liquid are moving forward. Snowball, Illusory Orb, Phase Shift going the other way. Now towards this Solar Guardian. GPK is going to be on the edge of it, but the Celestial Hammer and the Starbreaker, GPK gets caught.
He overextended. They stay there for way too long. Going on the enemy side of the map, but not bringing in numbers. Maybe they were a bit too greedy. Pure about to finish off his Radiant.
Save.
Another 600 gold.
Snowball, Grief the Tree, though. It doesn't look like it'll matter all too much in getting the kill on Save.
And that's a Diffusal Blade on Nisha. BetBoom Team staying very far ahead and then going for a play like this where Team Liquid, they bring in the numbers and they immediately, like they even brought Ursa. This is what I like about Mickey. He's not too afraid to join some of these early engagements, even with the heroes that a lot of other carry players would not do. Blink now completed, 15 minutes in, on top of the network by a huge margin.
And he's going Axe. So going away from what we've seen with the BKB, at least focusing on the Aghanim Scepter right now, it's been Battle Fury BKB Blink at times, it's been Battle Fury Blink BKB, but now this time Battle Fury Blink Aghanim Scepter if Mickey commits.
We'll see if he commits. There are good amount of spells that he doesn't like to play into. You are playing into Silence from Puck, you are playing into Hex, which is also a silence, so you can't use your ulti. Great against Lion Stun, great against Roar. Fine casual Ogre Axe for now. Nisha is in.
Pure in trouble, but unable to get out of the Wukongs. They will get Insania, but that is not equivalent exchange. Not nearly equivalent exchange. With those kills, Liquid still down 2 kills. It's 9-11 with a 1K net worth lead for BB Team, but they're trying to go in for a second attack. As they got that kill into Insania, and they'll look over as the Primal Roar and the Finger means they get the kill onto Nisha.
Save was back from hell. Extra 20% debuff duration and Spell Amp actually gets them the kill there.
GPK, Boxy. Retreating away, Illusory Orb, as well as just a couple of right clicks to clean up the creep wave. No Waning Rift, it was on cooldown. Don't chase, they don't try to get that kill, but it is still leaving this Ursa free to do whatever they want. On top of which, you know, Saberlight's had a good recovery. He's sitting here now ahead of Pure. He's picked up that Aghanim Scepter first.
Maybe that's why Mickey is thinking about getting Ags of his own, seeing that he has save. If they initiate on him, he can easily get Dawn ulti, 2 points in it, like level 2 right now. It is quite a lot of healing coming out, so maybe Mickey is just opting to go for more stats-oriented build, get that Aghanim Scepter, doesn't have to care about the stuns, and if they initiate with the Silence or a Hex, this is where Saberlight is going to try to save him.
Pure backing up. He has not had the most fun time to start this. He is 4,000 net worth behind his carry counterpart. Has the Radiance, but overall a much slower build-up for him. And this Ursa being so far ahead worries me for BetBoom if they're fighting a 5v5 and not these pick-off games that they've been finding.
Yeah, I think they should wait until Mickey gets his Aghanim Scepter, which he's going to farm in the next minute or so, and then they can try to go for an aggressive play, smoke up, and maybe try to steal or take Rosh, but I'm seeing BetBoom Team playing around Roshan, maybe thinking if we can get the pick-off around the area, we can turn it into Rosh.
Would be nice for them. Ursa lineups usually stay objective on Rosh pretty early on, and they try to set it up where you get that Rosh and then you go to the Tormentor. They go and hit the Boundless Strike. Solar Guardian drops down, and that is a dead Miero. Dream Coil is going to be dropped, but Katheome thrown out in the Wrath of Nature. It does some decent damage, just doesn't do enough damage. Dream Coil is a lot of their lockdown, so BetBoom Team can't really commit for more, and Ursa being unneeded continues to farm. But they get that pick off out of the Beastmaster, and maybe they'll move over for Rosh, because it's Rosh into Torm as the timing can start to hit around this 20-minute mark.
They used a lot, so I think Team Liquid will just continue to farm up, wait for their abilities to reset. No Dawn ulti, no Wukong's command, no Golem. Golem's probably going to be missing for the next Rosh fight, unless they can drag it, unless they can get a pick off. Mickey, very close to that Aghanim Scepter.
Sitting real close to it. We'll have it soon, but Pure, he's thinking the same thing. Aghanim Scepter for himself. Goes and takes that Ogre Axe first. See if he commits to just going into the Ags. Or if he wants, say, Basher.
It's a bit too early.
Or Sanj.
Yeah, yes, S and Y maybe. Just to be more tanky. They have good amount of stuns as well. And also have slow resistance, which is nice. Aghanim Scepter, if he rushes it, like, it doesn't disarm the target anymore, which is a kind of a big deal, but it lowers the cooldown, allows you to get it multiple times in a fight. And they also have an fast bomb, so he can play with GPK, something that we haven't seen them use yet.
Tormentor is actually going to be taken here by BetBoom Team.
If they take Tormentor, they're going to immediately go to Rosh Pit. There's Mickey with amplified damage. Rosh is going to the pit, knowing that they are playing on a different side of the map. And let's see BetBoom, if they maybe can go through the Twin Gate and try to contest this Roshan.
Mickey's going to go for it, but Katheome immediately in. Throws that Sprout. They know where he's at. Walrus Punch connects, but now they're going through. They've got the
Three-man stun.
Go. 3-man stun. Sword Guardian comes in immediately. The Fatal Box. Save his Deadpool supports out as well as Pure. TPing out as Miero. They have nothing to stop that. GPK is on the run. Nisha, balance strike in a second, but they just can't chase it down. They can go and get their prize, which is Rosh. And that's exactly what they'll do.
They're getting outplayed right now. This type of play from Katheome, it is nice, but Team Liquid, they were so ready for it. Immediately jumping out, knowing that they have Solar Guardian. This is the third game that he's playing Dawnbreaker, so he is pretty heated up in terms of, like, understanding when he needs to go in, needs to go out. And with Aghanim Scepter, it only, like, the initial one connected onto one target, but it lingers, it moves around, and it also allows you to get more heal. They're gonna get him.
Man, Boxy making so much happen with this Tusk. This early Blink Dagger, just wand boots Blink. He knows he wants to initiate, have that extra bit of lockdown with the Walrus Punch. I mean, that plus a Snowball is more than enough lockdown time to get the damage out.
It is very hard now for BetBoom to initiate onto a target. You get a blink stun, you get a blink roar. Ursa, he has Enrage with Aghanim Scepter. There's a blink snowball save. There is Golem from Warlock and also Dawnbreaker ulti. So makes the game for them very difficult to play. Again, on the other side of the map, Kataomi farming it up. Sentry ops down, same spot. I think we still have 2 more days left of the tournament. People are gonna try to punish this as well. Potentially, we saw Yatoro yesterday farming in this same exact spot when he was playing carry Nature's Prophet, when things are not going well, planting this Observer Ward, planting the Observer Ward in the enemy triangle. And team should have a pretty good read where NP is farming when things are not going well.
Mickey has a lot of time with this Aegis. He'll take a tier 1 over mid. They still have their tier 1 tower top. And the lack of push from Liquid up to that point, but they do get themselves a tower. Have an Aegis, so they can still fight and push more. And it's just Boxy and Mickey together, where they both have blinks, and when you've got that blink Walrus Punch initiation, your Ursa has more than enough time to get the damage out onto, I would say, just about everybody, maybe other than Pure.
Yeah. They also managed to survive through this big timing on Beastmaster when he had Helm available.
Blink Walrus Punch, blink in, Snowball connects, Solar Guardian's gonna come through, and Miero's dead. It's that duo combination, knowing that you have an option of a third if needed, yeah.
Also, Tag Team plus Ursa is an insane combo. Starbreaker as well. Kataomi trying to TP in, trying to play the bottom part of the map, but Nisha is also very tanky. He can get out of the trouble if he gets initiated on with the Shard. He's also playing with Insanion on different sides, so having all their bases covered. Nisha ready to jump in. SNY this time around. Very tanky on Monkey King.
Balance strike with the Shard. Orchid, though, turn around. Now the Snowball save. Chaotic Offering comes in with a Fatal Bonds. Save, looking for an Earth Spike. They hit the Dream Coil. They get the kill on Anisha, but they're going to lose Kataomi, and now they'll look on the side of Liquid for anything more. Mickey looking to make the jump. 2 seconds till he's got that Earth Shot. And he'll jump on a save. The Walrus Punch is there. They've gotten themselves another, and Pure, he's not up on the high ground. He'll infest into the Tusk, who will pull him back towards the rest of his team. So Pure now needs to run, but the Primal Roar lands. It's onto the Ursa, who's got an Aegis. So they'll get that out of his hands, but they're still fighting against Saberlight. And now GPK, he'll lose Reorb, go after Mickey. They do not have any more lockdown, so they can't really get this Ursa, and they'll back off.
BetBoom showing signs of life, managing to kill Ursa with Aegis, managing to kill Tusk and Monkey King in that fight. Aggressive move from Pure, using Infest with Ags. Making sure that he's grabbing that kill. Oh, I like what Box is doing. This is the item that has been nerfed so many times over the past few patches. This Aghanim Scepter, where you can't kick people out of Snowball. Pretty much everything has been nerfed about it, but it's still very, very good. One of the best overall items against the Lifestealer. He goes in with Rage, you kick him out, suddenly he can't come back into the fight.
Nisha just trying to farm up that BKB. Have a little bit more survivability. I do definitely agree about this kick, and if Tusk can get to the farm quickly. It's only got the Ogre Axe so far. Still needs 2,200 gold, but Miero, he will spot this Tusk for a second, who's got Tumbler's Toy, and Blink. Seeing you drop down the Chaotic Offering into that last fight, so that's down for 50 seconds. Ursa now has his Basher, but working on a BKB and really close to it. I mean, Mickey has found a lot of farm. He is 6,000 gold ahead of this Lifestealer, who sat and saved for a while. He's got the Shard, and maybe he can kind of just stand there, drain this mana. But Pure, he just came down bottom, and
he's dead so quickly.
Just so dead. Boxy again with these jumps, with the tandem jump of Mickey and Saberlight, makes it so easy to get these kills. I've said it 1,000 times already.
Yeah, this trio is causing a lot of issues for him. First of all, they have counter initiation and they have BKB piercing abilities. There's like 3 different BKB piercing tools. There's going to be a Basher as well ready soon. 0 damage. GPK still dealing the most damage in the game. Others, pretty much everybody's close to 10k at the moment.
Wrath of Nature comes through. Bottom tier 2 now getting hit up a little bit. It's a little lead for Liquid. It's a lot of net worth on this Nature's Prophet, who's going into the Ags, who wants that entanglement. Both these supports pretty farmed on BetBoom Team, and one of the things that you don't really get on the side of Liquid is maybe the scaling, but I say that they're still looking to get this Ags on Boxy where he'll have that kick. They get Kataomi, and the net worth doesn't mean anything when he's got some help.
Monkey King is very difficult to kill. Like, you're fighting close to the towers. Maybe they can try to make a move on Saberlight here, because they just saw a couple of heroes in the bottom lane.
Roared Coil
has TP ready.
Still alive. Surviving, looking at save. I mean, all that was used to try and get a kill into the Dawn, but it just is not enough. Finger, coil, all that, no. You just still can't get that kill.
He's super tanky. Shard, Aghanim Scepter, SNY now has status resistance as well, plus Vlad's sitting underneath the tower, amplifying all that region, having an extra bit of armor. They needed another hero to be able to kill him there. It was a nice move, nice try from BetBoom, where they saw multiple heroes TPing to the bottom lane, but they were also TPing to Monkey's lane, so he was the one who had TP ready.
Again, punch, snowball, and Mickey with the damage. Easy jump. And Boxy's actually going to switch the build. BKB. See if he commits.
It's a bit of a safer choice where he can blink in, he can also save people when he gets leashed with the coil if he's getting initiated on. Boxy's in.
Very in. Solar Guardian. Gotta catch up. Can they kill this creep? They could kill save. I didn't really mean that when I said kill this creep, but I meant the one that Pure was infested in.
Yes, there's like, right now, Lifestealer can't really fight back. He doesn't have enough. There are too many counters, too many BKB piercing abilities for him to try to play the game. Roshan is dead. It may respawn soon. Miro has been shut down completely. That one fight on the enemy side, 14-15 minutes into the game, where they smoked a long smoke from one side to the other near the enemy XP rune. It's what kind of cost them the advantage that they did have.
Kill GPK's courier. Ooh, the analog clock. It's a quick spawn. That's like 5 seconds. Okay, now like 2 seconds. All right, now like still 2 seconds. Nailed it. Miero, Gale guarded, but Primal Roar is used. They've got Mickey off to the side to try and jump out of the Beastmaster, but he blinks and looks for the TP. They have nothing to stop it, and will get away. So Roar expended for the life save. Roshan is up. Still holding on to this gold for Tusk, so definitely they kind of trying to see the next fight maybe and understanding
Roshan's
what he wants.
going to his Radiant side. We're not paying attention on the clock. Mickey can definitely kill it. Just needs maybe a pick-off before that. And that's exactly what they're doing. GPK, if he gets caught by a basher...
Uh-oh.
He blinked
GPK,
in.
oh boy, Earth Spike. Phase shift, but where do you go? Dream Coil is used, but it doesn't matter. Boundless strike with the BKB. He goes to the other side thanks to the Shard. They'll find Kataomi, and they've got themselves a chaotic offering. That's 3 dead on the side of BetBoom Team.
And Liquid, very crisp moves. This one also has been handled to them by GPK. He showed, sensed something was up, but then decided to blink in again. This Roshan, this is the second one. Banner plus Aegis for Mickey, immediately keeping down to the bottom lane. Saberlight wants to get some extra bit of a gold, wants to stop the push.
Lotus Orb for this Warlock. I'm keeping an eye on Tusk's inventory. He's closing in on, right, he bought BKB. So full purchase out on the BKB. Miera working on getting the Tormentor himself. Get a shard for his team. He's working on it, but that was close. Thanks for doing some of the work though. Mickey just comes in and gets a shard for Boxy.
That's also a very good shard when you have Monkey King in the team, where you can keep them longer. They are slowed inside the Wukong's command. Allows you to get the farm. It's not like Boxy needs any extra farm, but it also allows you to pretty much one-shot the creep wave.
This banana peel in the river, I wonder what it could be. Oh, Monkey King. I'll farm the triangle. Infested into an Ancient Ice Shaman. Looking and searching, but not finding anything from Liquid, who are still going to have an Aegis for another 3 minutes and a half. Abyssal Blade for Ursa as well as Shard, but no Courier. So that'll be some time.
He's super farmed on Ursa, making 9-0-3. He's going to have 3,000 plus HP once he delivers those items, plus the Shard, plus the Aghanim Scepter. Very difficult to kill. Aegis on top of that. They don't have the most tower damage, because you have Ursa, like he can siege, tier 2 is fine. Kateomi getting caught again.
Or Guardian and an easy kill onto the Nature's Prophet. Use that TP bottom, and then look over for Miero, because Nisha's going into the trees. He'll Primal Spring down into the creeps. They will leave him, but the rest of the side of the BetBoom team was coming through that twin gate just in case he chased, but didn't give too much of a chase. The team is all together, and Nisha in on everybody. That was the wrong spot to go to. But now, can Pure get out of this? He's on the run. Snowball attempt is not going to catch up to him.
Infest in 5.
Celestial Hammer. Pure needs to stay near some creeps. There are none in that camp. And now he turns the other way, knowing he needs to get to these Ancients, but they've got the Fatal Bonds on the creeps, the Shards. Oh, it doesn't matter. He'll infest. I don't know if that's going to matter, though. The Abyssal Blade is there. Pure's on the run. One more shot to kill him. He'll slow him up, but there's a Chaotic Offering just to get this kill into the Lifestealer.
And Insania's like, I had enough. A bit unfortunate for him that they farmed that camp. It did not spawn, like immediately running into the Croaker camp. But if they were not there, they were not at home.
Sure.
Very difficult game for him to deal damage.
Yeah.
Multiple BKB piercing abilities. Saberlight also has Orchid, so that's going to be one way dealing with him. And also has Basher queued up.
I really do respect Kateomi being deep here and farming. He TP'd back home, but he was in the triangle for Liquid, taking in as many creeps as he can, farming as much, and pushing with those treants. Kind of doing the same here over bottom. He'll push those treants in to try and at least push out these lanes. Insania, he is kind of giga farmed here too for a Warlock.
Yeah, he's been chilling.
He's looking Hex. Sometimes we see these refreshers straight up, or we get Ags, but it's Hex. Boundless Strike with the Snowball and the Walrus Punch. Nisha getting the knockout kill.
They've had enough of Kateomi. In game 1, he was causing good amount of issues. This time, got completely shut down in the laning stage, and then multiple times. Boxy's been all over the place. Boxy's been involved in 23 out of 28 kills.
Shadow Word, and on the jump in, but Solar Guardian stopping that TP. Miero, Gale Guard, Primal Roar, Snowball, and the Shards catch him. So he's got the Walrus Punch, and they've got another kill. Liquid just finding BetBoom all around the map. You try to hide, but you are just not doing a good job of it. You might have needed more time at hide and seek as a kid.
Ancient Croaker is gonna die on the other side. It might be time for Team Liquid to try to make something happen, deal some damage to tier 3 towers. Aegis just expired.
There's that Basher for Pure. Had that Mithril Hammer before, and is that Sanjinyasha? He's got okay farm, but he's just so far behind this Ursa.
He can't
And
really
honestly,
square
all
up.
Ursa.
Like, he can't
No.
stand in the middle of Wukong's command. He can't fight against Ursa. It is too much. Even against the Dawnbreak, there's just way too many items that he is afraid of. And again, Boxy's queuing up Aghanim Scepter. That's going to take a while. I believe they purchased the gem Might have been him who actually got it, allowing Insania to get that Hex that you talked about. That's going to be another problem for both Lifestealer and Puck.
Wondering if GPK can carry the game again. He's actually got an Unleashed Whisper of the Dread. So the Unleashed has made it all the way to the tier 4, and Equip Hero has their daytime vision, but he gets that increased spell damage, and it's timeless. Not bad. Not bad at all. Helped it from his tier 3 to the tier 4, so he's happy with what he's getting from it.
Yeah, he knew he needs to have something for the later stages of the game. Try to risk it a little bit after seeing how the early game, at least post 15 minutes, did go. Mickey is hunting. He does have Aghanim Shard Blessing in the base and also wants to pick up MKB. Wants to deal with that evasion from Lifestealer with Radiance.
He is picking up items at
Way
the rate.
too many items. We're yet to see BetBoom take the full 5-on-5 engagement. It's been like pickoff, save, Insania.
McKay's in,
ready.
chaotic offering. They'll find Miero. The Fatal Mods did connect him to save, but he's still dead. Take Miero's life. Save able to TP out. Orchid, well, they don't really care about it. Sprout around the two of them. It is a close quarters fight that Nisha is certainly going to win against Kethomi. Saberlight
didn't even flinch. Didn't want to even do anything. Just farming on a different side of the map. Not necessary. They have some of the best counter initiation with Warlock, with Dawn Ulti, with that Aghanim Scepter.
They're looking.
They might find him here. Boxy, if he blinks in.
Blink. Oh, infest.
Quick fingers.
Whew. Very close. That was almost disastrous for BB Team. Roshan now going for a swift blink, about to hit that level 25. It just does not stop with Mickey. He has not been slowed down at all this game. He is 10-0-4. Trying to figure out what you do here to stop this Ursa. Even all committing on him, it just doesn't feel like enough.
No, definitely not. Roshan is going to be a longer spawn, 3 minutes almost. And let's see how Liquid will approach it. Whether they're going to be trying to get another pick off, maybe even more of that. Jim. Fox is going to find another Observer Ward.
Oh. Oh. Little bit of Kale again.
Does go away quickly. Had it a couple of times so far.
So in about the 1940s, hunky-dory was actually really this... All right, never mind. You kind of gave me this look of you're not a big fan of hunky-dory.
Well, if it was a true story, then I'd be fine with it.
It is a true story.
Well, it's a true story in your head.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But things not so hunky-dory right now, as we're paused with a bit
not
of
for BetBoom
pink
team,
spiking.
No.
Yeah, they're down 23,000 net worth, and it's a tough road back. This is just feeling almost impossible, and I say almost because of the comebacks we've seen in the event so far. Long time on that timer. I'm not going to fall for it being flipped over and reversed. We're looking at it from the bottom up. I won't fall for that.
It's going backwards.
Reverse clock. Kethomi in trouble. Spotted, killed. Caught again. As he is dead for the 12th time.
Box even bought Boots of Travel just to make sure that he can catch them, like have a lower cooldown on his TP and make sure that he can be anywhere on the map.
Haste rune for Mickey.
Level 25 as well.
Yeah, he just got himself that Earthshock, has 2 charges. Infest on the run. In the Prowler. Can anybody find him? He is pretty speedy. He's juking around, and the rest of his team is actually going to join him in a second. They're all smoked behind him.
No Dawn ulti for 15. Maybe that's a kill.
Ooh, the Hex, the Roar, and they pop out of the Infest. They get this godlike spree out of the hands of Mickey.
The boy's got him.
Wow.
Ancient Prowler actually baited.
90 seconds, and he does not have any buyback. Not really too devastating at the moment, but it will give time for BB Team to farm.
Yeah, that's 90 seconds. Roshan's going to respawn in slightly less than a minute. Maybe they have enough. Like, their Roshan is not like the fastest, but you still have a good amount of right clicks coming out. Drums, you have Helm. Lifesteal's doing good amount of damage. He got baited heavily. Okay. Maybe they're a little frustrated that they can't go for the high ground push, which is always difficult with Ursa's lineup. Can't really deal tower damage. There's going to be waves still. You have Monkey King in the team. When he gets to his level 25, currently sitting at level 23, the big Wukong's command, maybe with the refresher, if they can get the hands on it, this is third Roche.
Could potentially be third Roche. Lincoln's is the name of the game for Nisha.
Might change it up. If they feel like they need more tower damage, he can always go for refresher and then let the others siege. They could also do Kaori thing. Ooh. Drop the golem onto the tower. This is something that he's been doing very effectively in the tournament so far, especially at these lower tier towers.
I would probably say we shouldn't see that. Just throwing...
No, not at this point of the game.
No, hopefully not, because we saw how that worked at that point of the game, in that game, and it didn't work out well. Initially, it was okay, but yeah, it was not amazing. I don't know if you've ever listened to any Bowie, but great song Life on Mars in that Hunky Dory album.
Might need to give it a go.
Yeah, I would say so. It's always a nice listen, but no Mars in this game. No life on Mars. I don't know where we are planet-wise. I mean, us. Legitimately, we're on Earth, but in the game, I don't know what the name of the planet is. I don't know that kind of lore. Octarine Core for Pure. He's almost level 25.
This might be the first Octarine Core on Lifestealer.
The timer closing in.
So yeah, it brings down Infest down to 15 seconds. It's gonna explode.
Don't zoom. No, zoom out. Oh, Wallace Punch. They will find Katomi.
For the 13th time.
Yeah, that is a baker's dozen of kills. Popping the Infest, but now they're right on him. Earth Spike from a distance, and they will catch Boxy. He doesn't have buyback either. That could mean Roche for BetBoom in a crucial spot.
I mean, this build on Lifestealer is actually pretty cool. He did opt to go for Magnifying Monocle, which is attack range and cast range. So he can use that. Like, I think this is the item that also got him out of the trouble once when he used that Infest when they were trying to make a move near the XP rune, and they will be controlling Roshan.
Finger as well as the Earth Spike, that sets up the Primal Roar, but they go in with the Guardian of Solar Effect, and they will find Miero, the Abyssal Blade, but the Infest into Miero, and now the run. Kataomi's inside the pit, maybe he's trying to stop Saberlight, saves nearby too. Earth Spike doesn't reach quite that far.
If you look at the Octarine Core on Lifestealer, it is, I mean, not an item that you would expect him to buy. It gives him the, especially with level 25 talent, so duration is 7 seconds, and you have 5.8 without your rage. So that's pretty nice. You're pretty much going to have permanent rage, and in between, you have Infest on 15-second cooldown.
That's really not that bad at all. Let's see if the rages in these long fights end up mattering. What's been going on, though, for Liquid has been they've been able to burst these heroes. With the Blink Walrus Punch and the damage from the Ursa, they have been not really giving these heroes time to survive. But maybe they can find these more long, drawn-out fights. If they're fortunate enough. They smoke up again. They've got this Aegis. Definitely going to be a longer, drawn-out fight when you've got a second life available on your lifestealer. Insania running, Blink Infest, popping, and the finger again. Chaotic Offering comes through, but they'll buy back. Insania's going to die, but they caught GPK. And they have got their hands on save as well as Pure. Pure, he's going to have to try and rage, but he is not going to get out. Despite all his rage, he's just a rat in a cage, surrounded by all of Liquid.
Camero didn't want to pick up that region. It would reveal where he was. He was also not in a fight. This was pretty much 3v5, 4v5 if you count in Aegis. But they initiate on the Insania. His level 24, 20 talent gives him Golem on death. And now they need the creep skip. Miero will try to do it, but they also have top lane. Nisha is in there. Banner has been planted. This is one of the more aggressive banners, close to the base. They want to go for the end.
Pure's dead for 70.
No buyback.
Buyback on Lion, but that doesn't scare them.
They don't care about V's creep skipping. That banner was nicely planted.
Jump forward from the Ursa. Kind of on the assumption that maybe they just don't have the backup of GPK as well as Pure. The Primal Roar is used. They'll go to the Chaotic Offering. They've got the Solar Guardian and Miero. He's going to die. Balance Strike from Nisha. Jumps over to the back end. Looks over at Save, but the throne is exposed. GG is called, and Liquid will take the 2-1 over BetBoom.
And just like that, the game ends. Name a more iconic duo, BetBoom, and losing the games like that where they don't have...